Aloha, what's up everyone, and welcome to my channel. Today we're doing the segment called Omens. This is a segment on my channel, more laid back, more casual, more me being myself. But basically in this segment, this is where we take a look at like some of the recent news that's been happening around the world, and we look for the signs and the omens, because I feel like the apocalypse is just around the corner. So welcome. Yeah, welcome everybody. So what I'm going to be doing is I'm going to be using Google News and some of my own notes here that I have. Good to see everybody in the chat. Everybody who's popping in right now, good to see everybody. We're going to kick the show off. And I do have it so that I can, put welcome to one of our newest mods, Jayla. Good to see you, Jayla. Thanks for all your good vibes. All right, cool. Sweet. Welcome everybody. So check this out. I feel that the apocalypse is nigh. The apocalypse is imminent, okay? The world's changing so quickly, and it's upside down, and it's topsy-turvy. Everything's getting weird in the world, so let's talk about some of this weird stuff. A lot of it today is going to have to do with space, or what they call space. So that's what we're talking about today. What's up, Sogio, the Plasma Prophet? I see everybody popping up in the chat. Sage, Plasma Prophet, good to see everybody. All right, sweet. So check this out. If I do not bring up them going back to the moon, okay, if I don't bring that up, please remind me, because I definitely want to talk about that. I don't know why that's not, bigger news headlines right now. It's not going to be in any of these articles for some reason. But they're talking about going back to the moon. So that's something that we're going to come back to. The moon's popped up quite a bit here whenever I've been checking out some of these signs and omens. So let's jump into some of this stuff first. I'm just going to kind of skim through some of this top stuff. So check this out. This first one says that the Webb telescope. Okay, so check this out. I guess they have some various telescopes out there in space. Okay, let's just verify real quick. James Webb Telescope. All right, what is this? Where is Webb? Let's just ask real quick. I guess this is what it looks like. That's how hot and cold it must be or something. Where is it though? Oh man. All right, I don't need all that. I just want to know what it is. Let's see. Where is it currently? Sure. The James Webb Space Telescope is not in orbit around the Earth like the Hubble Space Telescope is. It actually orbits the sun. Well, 1.5 million kilometers. All right, get used to that. On this particular segment, get used to them talking about millions and billions and cajillions of miles away. But I guess this thing's orbiting the sun about 1 million miles away from the Earth at what is called the second Lagrange point, or L2. Okay, well, whatever. This is a space telescope, okay? Enough said. So they have... allegedly, they have super powerful telescopes floating around out there in space that can take crazy pictures and tell you about all kinds of stuff that's ridiculously far away. Like, for example, this first one says, the Webb telescope confirms nearby rocky planet has no significant atmosphere. So this telescope was able to zoom in, apparently. However it does it, okay, it doesn't matter. However it's zooming in, however it gets the information, it can zoom into some nearby rocky planet. What rocky planet is this even talking about? A sandstorm swirls through the skies of a distant gas giant. What? Oh, hold on. Let's see. What planet is this talking about? Right? I only know of like a few. Let's see, blah, 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 ultra cool dwarf and its 7 planets, one-sided, blah, blah, blah. Okay, well, anyways, I don't really have to read the whole article. My point is that they say that they have these super extra strong, powerful telescopes that can zoom way super far away to like other moons of other planets and other places and other stars super far away. They're taking all kinds of pictures of the sun with like a tornado that's, so many Earths tall or whatever, right? That's interesting to me. right? Because the very next one that we go into is they say water is trapped in glass beads on the moon's surface. Lunar samples show. So they don't take a picture of this, but that's what I was wondering, right? Here's what I was wondering. They say that they found water that was trapped in glass beads. So I'm starting to do some research. I'm like, who found water trapped in glass beads on the moon? And what the hell does that even mean? I'm doing all this research over here on my side, right? They're so vague. Well, I guess they say, because I'm like, who is on the moon? You know what I mean? I'm going to get to Mars too. We're going to talk about Mars in just a bit, right? So, and I also may introduce a new addition to my family. We rescued a puppy or a dog, and I will introduce her in a bit. So if you see me checking over to the side, it's, I just want to make sure like the puppy's okay. All right. Anyways, so yeah, they say water's trapped in glass beads on the moon's surface. So I'm like, who got the sample, right? Like who went to the moon unbeknownst to me, right? And picked up some samples, scooped up some moon dust or whatever. I'm like, who was there? Who went there? I missed that. Where did that go, right? So they say there's some Chinese people, whoever they may be, the Chinese government, I'm assuming, or representatives thereof. I guess a few years back, they had like launched some rover or something to go to the moon and like pick up some dirt and bring it back or something like that. And they say, oh, well, there was water trapped in these glass beads on the moon's surface. Okay, so they're basically trying to say that there's water on the moon, which is really interesting too, right? Droopy was asleep. What's up, Droopy? Good to see you. Welcome to my channel. Let's see. Jayla says congrats on the new family. Hey, thank you. You'll meet her pretty soon. I'm pretty sure. All right. So anyways, this is weird, right? That they send, I'm like, this is getting my mind spinning, right? We're starting off slow. I'm like, okay, they have telescopes. They can zoom into like distant planets and worlds and stars and stuff. Why don't they use those telescopes on our moon? Like, why don't they take all of those super, super extra strong, powerful telescopes and like just zoom in on the moon like you would Google Earth or something, right? I mean, it's like the closest nearby thing. I could care less about atmosphere on some distant place or some dust cloud on some crazy possible proto-planet or whatever. I want to know, like, let's start here. Okay, let's start like in our oceans. Let's start with like our own world and stuff. And once we, get a grasp on that, let's move to the next one, right? Which is the moon, which you know nothing about, right? Just loads and loads of trivia and garbage and factoids and nothing of substance. You know what I mean? We're pulling all of this stuff from distant, far off galaxies and black holes and all kinds of weird stuff, but they know next to little about the moon. So they're saying that they brought back some samples of moon sand or whatever. I don't know what it's supposed to be. Glass beads. Okay, time out. Wait a minute. What's glass even doing on the moon? Right? Well, it could be electrical. However, I personally don't believe anything that they teach us about the moon, basically. I believe there's truth in everything, but let me come back to the moon in just a second. All right, let me come back to the moon. Actually, I want to talk about something specific. Let me check my notes here. Artemis. That's right. So it's the Artemis project or the Artemis. I don't know what it is, but they're going to go back to the moon and they're calling it Artemis. I don't know if that's like the mission or the name of the rocket or what's going on with that. Oh, that's right. There's got to be a photo. There's a photo somewhere here. I'm going to come back to the hole in the sun. Mars. Let me search for Mars. Boom. All right, cool. We got 4 humans to begin living on Mars. We're going to be talking about that. Okay. Yeah. Like I said, let's start with the moon. Okay. And then maybe you could build me a bridge to Mars. But right now I don't have one. All right. Scientists say potatoes could be used to build houses on Mars. Is this serious? This is the upside down that you live in right now. This is welcome to my upside down world. This is a real, authentic article, right, on the Google News page in the subject of science that says scientists say, whoever they may be, potatoes could be used to build houses on Mars. That's a real, actual article. You know what I mean? Wow. Scientists invented potato. Oh, I don't want to read about that. Where's the next Mars one? There's a picture I want to see. Where did it go? Oh, here we go. Check this out. You see this one? My head's kind of blocking it, but I'll bring it up. It says NASA's Perseverance rover sends eerie photo of dawn on Mars. Let's check out this photo. I'm going to show you this photo real quick. Let's look at this together, right? Now, check this out. You don't really see much of like a landscape at all. I don't know what happened there, but they show you a cloud and something that's like lit up over on this side. Not sure what's going on there, but definitely have a very nice, vivid, clear picture of a cloud over here, right? So that's interesting. I'm like, okay, wait a minute. Let's just say, for the sake of argument, that this is real, that they really have robots that are driving around on Mars right now, and that some possible way they can like text back a picture that it took from over, what is it? How far away is Mars? Let's just check it out. It's like a kajillion, right? How far away is Mars? Boom. Okay, 132 million miles away. Like, this picture allegedly was sent and received from 132 million miles away. Like, can we even conceive how ridiculously far away that is? You know what I mean? And then just compare that to the technology that we currently have here in the actual world where we live. You know what I mean? That's God, there's so many questions that this brings up. You know, like how much can the general population be fooled? How much can they do the same trick over and over and over before people are starting to ask some questions and say, well, wait a minute, how does that work? You know what I mean? How exactly does that work? You're sending me this picture that you took from 100 million miles away? And like, how does that even work? Like, it's frustrating to me that that's just so easily believed. But anyways, so if they can do that, if they can get this real cloud and whatever's going on over here, I don't know what the rest of this is, but that's definitely a cloud, or at least it seems to be, right? Then why can't they? I'm like, okay, here's my thought. All right, I'm just kind of rambling at the moment, but that's all right. Here's my thought. My thought is, if they can take a picture of the cloud or a cloud or whatever on Mars, why don't they have? I'm like, do they have rovers on the moon? Like, I keep hearing about these Mars rovers, right? Martian rover takes a picture. Martian rover, you know, has to go around an obstacle. And how are they driving? From 100 million miles away. Like, is it just automated? Everything's the technology's that good. It's just all automated and it just goes around and it takes a picture. Like, how long does it even tell the robot to take the picture? You know what I mean? This is insane. This blows my mind. But here's a question I asked myself, if we have machines that are driving around taking pictures on Mars, shouldn't stand to reason that we have many more machines, even better quality, driving around on the moon? I mean, we've been there. I say we. I'm speaking like I'm the general population, okay? We have not been to the moon. I definitely have not been to the moon in this incarnation, okay? Excuse me. But anyways, yeah, we have not been to... I have to be careful about my verbiage. But anyways... So here's my question. Where are all of the little rovers and drones and other interesting things that are just a hop, skip, and a jumping away compared to 100 million miles away? Where are all of those on the moon? Let's check it out. So this is the Martian picture we get. Let's just check it out one more time. Here we go. There we go. We see the nice little fuzzy clouds there and whatever is going on here. I don't know what that's supposed to be. Now, let's just type in a quick Google search. Real picture from the lunar surface, and let's compare the two. Okay, all right, hold on, let's bring up some pictures here. Now, first thing you notice is that we get this one, Apollo 11. Okay, they're going to show you some old, allegedly. Okay, this makes me like in such a good mood. It's so funny to me. All right, so check this out. Why are they showing all of these old Apollo 11 from how many? 50 years? Maybe more than that? It's been a while, right? Apollo 11 moon landing. You got a conspiracy one over here that pops up. You got like clearly images that are looking pretty photoshopped, I must say. A bunch of these. I'm not really seeing like, here's a picture, just like the Martian one. I'm not really seeing that. You know what I mean? Here's Mars, right? Where is the realistic lifelike picture from some kind of like lunar rover? Where's the equivalent here in our home backyard? What's going on? So the question, this should raise a huge red flag to many people. And for me, this is one of the signs of our times, that people will believe that the equivalent of basically a cell phone picture was taken on Mars and crystal clear quality. I mean, you can see it looks pretty realistic, you know, as far as a cloud goes. Like, I'm not saying that this is a picture from Mars at all, okay? But I'm saying if it was a picture from Mars, let's compare that to, what is this? China releases HD true color images of lunar surface. Oh yeah, so I guess China's the only one who's like allegedly putting out pictures from the moon. They say, right? I'm not so sure. But anyways, look at all these whack pictures you get when you try to look at like a real actual picture of the moon. This, holy moly. You've seen that one before, right? Okay. I've got so many questions. Like all of these, like that's why I can't even talk right now, because I'm just shooting from the hip. And these lunar pictures, these alleged lunar pictures, okay, don't make a lot of sense. But anyways, yeah, they're going to show you pictures from 50 years ago, basically. Or how long was that? 69, 79, 89, 99, 9, 19. Yeah, over 50 years ago. All right. They're going to keep showing you these pictures over and over and over and over again. Why? Because they're just so good. No, it's because these are the pictures that are ingrained in your minds and your parents' minds and probably your grandparents' minds. And these are the pictures we think of when we think of, hey, we actually did go to the moon. I'm speaking collectively once more, but that's how people talk, right? I'm just giving you an example. So anyways, they keep showing you these exact same pictures of these initial and a whole bunch of just weird, whack, out of control pictures, clearly, you know what I mean? This is really mind-blowing, but they'll show you stuff like this all of the time. See this dude behind me? Apollo 17, Apollo something else, right? They show you all of this stuff. But when it comes to Mars, we get like crystal clear quality images and stuff. That's mind-blowing. I'm going to come back to Mars in a bit. Let's see what else we got. All right, cool. Let's see. I'm going to scooch back up here to the top. What I'm saying is here's the deal. JT asks, am I saying that I don't trust NASA? Right? As a joke. Here's the deal. I don't know NASA. Like, you know what I mean? Like, I don't know them in order to trust them. I feel like it is unwise to trust something that you just don't know personally. You know what I mean? To put any kind of trust for or against. I'm not saying I don't trust them. I'm just saying, like, there's clearly more to the story. Okay, I guess, let me just simplify it. You're right, I don't trust them. I'm just saying. All right, anyways, where were we? All right, so we're talking about these telescopes that can zoom way out there. They don't turn them around. They don't just zoom in on the moon. I mean, think of the detail. Think of like in the last, I don't know, let's be kind and say 20, 30 years or something. Think of all the detailed images we should have of the moon. Just zooming in with the cameras that are allegedly floating around out there in the vacuum of space. However, they're even doing that, right? All right, let me see if I have anything else over here. We got this, boom, boom, boom. A hole opens up in the sun. Let me check my notes real quick. Let's see, photo on Mars versus the moon. Oh, the black hole thing. I want to talk about the black hole thing real quick. Let's find that. Oftentimes, whenever I read through these articles, I laugh so much. I'm talking to the computer as I'm doing this. I'm like narrating to myself because these things crack me up. So check this out. You see this one right here? Reclassified galaxy is now a supermassive black hole. And here's another thing. They're using too many of these little catchphrase words like supermassive. You know what I mean? Like when you're talking about space, what exactly is supermassive, right? And why doesn't massive suffice when it comes to a black hole? I'm impressed with a tiny black hole. Like, just give me a little one and I'll be impressed. I'll be like, wow, that's pretty nice. You got yourself a little black hole there. That's pretty awesome. But a supermassive one, in comparison to what? You know what I mean? Stop throwing in these extra catchphrasey, clickbaity kind of words, people. Anyways, listen how it gets dumber. It gets dumber. Reclassified galaxy is now a supermassive black hole that's pointing directly at Earth. Oh my God, I'm going to read that article. I'm going to click on that. I don't want to die. What if we all get sucked into a supermassive black hole? That'd be much worse than a little one. Or whatever, right? Now, let me point this out. If I don't believe in any of this stuff, I believe there's truth to everything, so I have my own perspective. I believe that there's truth in the things that we're reading right now. It's just that we have to reverse engineer them like it's fantasy, right? And find the truth in it, just like the same way we do in the movies, same way we do everywhere else. So check this out. If you have a black hole, first of all, you don't really need to say black, right? I mean, come on. I mean, I guess you could. Let me not nitpick that much. If you have a black hole, okay, whatever, in space, which is already a hole. So you have a hole in a hole, right? You have a hole in nothing, basically. I mean, you have a hole in a vacuum, which is basically kind of like a hole, right? But you have a hole in nothing. How the fudge is it facing any direction at all? Isn't every direction like facing the black hole? You know what I mean? Are black holes two-dimensional now? And there's just like, here's the facing side of the black hole, and here's the unknown other mysterious side, whatever the back end looks like. You know what I mean? That's retarded. If there's a black hole, I would imagine that it would be like 360 degrees sucking everything in, according to their own academic models of how things like gravity allegedly work, right? That's how planets are allegedly formed, and all the debris and all the dust and space lava and space ice balls and all the stuff is like so attracted to the middle of something else that it all just kind of sucks together all the way around. Isn't that what a black hole does? Isn't that what a black hole is? All right. All right. Let's move on from the black hole. It's ridiculous. I want to make fun of all of it. Let's see. Entire planets made of dark matter. What is that? What even is that? And how do you have a planet that's made of that? Here's how we can find them. Okay, right. I'm going to skip that one. All right, what else we got? Blah, blah, blah. Let's see. We're going to skip that. Anything interesting? China's rocket launches more than quadruple over a decade survey. China's rocket launches more than a quadruple. What does that even mean? Space race, Chinese rocket. All right. Space race. Let me touch on the space race. There's no space race. Okay? There is none. There's no space race. Okay? It's like sports. They try to get you all excited about your country and produce a sense of nationalism and national pride and pride in your country because your country's going to beat all the other countries. They're trying to turn it into a sport, basically. It's that sport mentality, right? The space race. Who's gonna get there first? Who's gonna get to the moon? Who's gonna get, you know what I mean? And it's like the same three countries over and over and over doing it, right? There's no race. I don't care. I don't believe any of you can get to space or what you call space at all. I think you can go really high up in the sky. This is me, okay? I'm unimpressed by any kind of space race. Listen, you say, I'm not talking to any of you. I'm talking to them, you know what I mean? But you say, and made a big deal and live streamed, basically, okay, 50 years ago, telling everybody that you landed on that light that goes around in our sky up there, usually at nighttime, but sometimes during the day for some reason these days. You're telling me that you landed some dudes up there, played some golf, drove around on a buggy, right? And then never went back. Just the most incredible thing, hyped up the whole world. We're going to the moon, raise the roof, we're going to the moon. It's like getting everybody so excited. And then you're like, oh yeah, that was cool, that was fun. All right, sweet. So like for the next 50 years, let's not do that anymore. Let's like just point some telescopes way deeper out there in space. I mean, are you serious? Does the world really buy that? That we went there? I'm saying it sometimes just for the sake of ease, okay? That somebody went to the moon. Okay, I gotta start correcting myself. We didn't do anything. Do we really buy that collectively? You know what I mean? Like, I mean, I'm not saying like us truth seekers, the people who kind of already, you know, have a pretty good idea that, you know, something is afoot. Hey, PDC. Hey, thank you. Let me say thanks. Hold on. It says good vibes to you, brother. Thanks to you. Appreciate you, PDC. Good vibes to you right back. So anyways, who believes this? Like who believes this? It's the same type of people that whenever you start questioning why they believe that, a lot of them start to get pissed off. Like, Neil Armstrong, right? Or was it Buzz Aldrin? Which one punched that dude in the face for asking him to swear on the Bible that he went to the moon or whatever, right? Anyways, that's crazy. All right. The moon. All right, I'm going to come back to the moon in just a second. Let me see what else we got here. All right, so they say there's a space race. I'm not voting. I'm not cheering anybody on. I don't do sports, so I'm not a part of the space race. I don't believe any of you can get out of the dome till it opens. Then you'll all get sucked out, and you won't really have a choice, which is probably why they're making space shuttles and rockets and stuff like that, right? To get ready. I believe that they're all doomsday preppers, basically. All right, what else we got? This week at NASA, Artemis 2 moon rocket, moon water map. That's right. They keep on talking about moon and the water on the moon and stuff. So I feel like this is a sign in that they are telling you some of the truth that the moon is associated with water. My theory is that the moon's made of ice. The real one, right? Not the light in the sky. There's a different moon than that one. But I think that's why they keep on talking about it made of water, and why they named every feature on its surface after water, basically. Or weird explorers, like who went to Antarctica, right? Like what's that dude's name? Shackelford or something like that. I'm gonna come back to that. All right, after endless days, Boeing's $4.3 billion start. Oh, I'm also not impressed at all, nor do I believe that these things cost this much. Anybody else? Does anybody else in the chat not buy this BS of like, oh yeah, it's going to cost like 4.8 quintillion bajillion dollars to go to this next phase that we're in? You know, to like do like a roundabout slingshot maneuver. It's pretty expensive to get those roundabout slingshot maneuvers done. So we're going to have to like take more of your money, slaves. You know what I mean? Is it Rusty Shackelford? I don't know. Yeah, I don't believe in all this vast amounts of money. You know what I mean? Like, what do they need money for? They're the ones that own the money. They just get stuff. Like, do they really pay anybody? Like, who do they pay? I don't know. I have all kinds of questions about that. Let's move on. Let's see. NASA, I don't really care about who's in charge over there. NASA, oh, here's that picture that we did. Meteor shower expected to produce 100 meteors per hour less than a month away. Sweet. So check this out. Oh, who was that? Droopy. Droopy was asleep. Gave me $2. Thanks, Droopy. It says astronauts are Freemason actors. Droopy says that. Are they? Ooh, they might be. I might tend to side with you, but let's move forward. So check this out. This little meteor shower that they got going on here. Meteor shower expected to produce 100 meteors per hour. Oh, look at that. Hey, by the way, if you go to my website, it doesn't have this crap. You know how like it just, before you even read anything, it's like, oh my God, buy something. I don't do that on my website. My website has 0 pop-ups. Like, how do you even get out? Am I supposed to click this? What is that? Is that an X? Is that the X that I click on? I'm scared to click on that. I'm not going to click on it. I'm actually just going to go back. That website sucks. All right. Anyways, my website's awesome. All right. Anyways, so check this out. If you happen to see this meteor shower, look for the meteors that are going up, right? Right. So check this out. If we're spinning and wobbling and tilting and drunken earth through vacuum around the fireball and all that fun stuff, don't you think that from time to time you would see shooting stars like going from the horizon, like up, like coming from some other angle other than down? Anybody? Right? All right. Anyways. All right, hold on. Is somebody talking to me? Hey, listen, if you're in the chat, please type in JayDreamerZ or @Jay, okay, to get my attention. But if I happen to see you're asking a question, I will read it. G14 Classified says, "Are you tell my Admiral Bird Operation High Jump, but it went to Antarctica?" Pooh, I have no idea what you're trying to ask me. Yeah, I don't know what you're asking me. I'm super sorry about that. I know it's not easy to type, especially if you're watching on your phone. But we'll come back to the chat. All right, what else we got? Let me see. Let me get caught up here. I'm also trying to keep my eyes on the chat too, just in case anybody does say anything. All right, so what else we got? We're looking at the news here. Aaron, what's up? Welcome, Aaron. All right, the center seat, 55 years. I don't care about Star Trek stuff right now. Astrobiologists suggest that we look for signs of life from elsewhere in the galaxy. I say we look for signs of life here. Anybody else? Anybody? Like, let's look for signs of life here. It looks like we're turning into a dead planet from what I can see. It's not looking too good. All the water's drying up. The oceans are acting weird. Animals are turning on us. There's strange signs in the sky. Did you guys see that last video I posted with the auroras? Oh my God, I think that's actually in here. Let's check that one out real quick. Yeah. Hold on, let's check that out. Aurora Borealis, boom. All right, let's see what they got here. So this is pretty interesting. So they say that there was like a hole in the sun. Now, is this, has anyone ever heard of this before the last couple of, months maybe? Like that the sun just opens up holes in it? The sun just gets a hole in, how does that even work? Let's see here. Victor Freeman says, @Jay, what's up? You're invited to the old Ute Indian Trail where it crosses the Badger Creek in Fremont County. Oh, right on. That's awesome. Thank you. I super appreciate it. All right. Where was I? Oh yeah. So anyways, they say that a hole opened up in the sun. And let me actually, let's do that. Let's start with that one. Hole in the sun. Because in order to get to the Aurora Borealis that I want to show you, we have to talk about this hole in the sun deal. A hole in the sun could give auroras a boost. How does that even work? Like, this is frustrating to me. Like pick a story. You know what I mean? That's really all I'm asking. Like, you're being so purposefully confusing. Like, pick a story, dude. Can the sun have a hole in it or not? Like, these little dark spots, they keep calling them holes. But then they'll backtrack whenever you read it, and it's like, oh, it's not really like a hole. What it is, it's just like less light coming from those areas. I don't know. What does that call when you get, sunspots? They're not calling them sunspots because these are massive sunspots, basically. These are gigantic sunspots. So this is a sign directly from like the main sign thing that you should be watching in the sky all the time, that the ancients watched, that our forefathers watched, that they built structures specifically, precisely lined up to like equinoxes and solstices, and they were keeping an eye out for this object to see how it changes. Yeah, it's probably a sign whenever there's holes just opening up in the friggin' sun, right? Aquarius, what's up, Aquarius? Says, JayDreamerZ, we exist in a body. We are like cells, therefore space is a body. The plexus, from what I can tell, everything is a macroscopic and magnification in of itself. Yes, and within that body, there are some BS lies going on about that body, right? I guess that's how I would say it. Anyways, thanks for sharing. All right, so check this out. There's a hole. What's going on? Like, how is this even possible? Second giant hole. That's not just one. Last week, they say a hole opened up in the sun, which is this one. Let me click on it. Let's see if there's no stupid pop-ups and stuff. A hole in the sun could give auroras a boost. A boost? What does that mean? Why is he making it sound like a good thing that the auroras are getting a boost? If your auroras get a boost, all of your technology shuts down and your world goes into the dark ages. Like, I don't know if giving the auroras a boost is necessary, but I mean, they're beautiful, don't get me wrong. But anyways, so check this out. Coronal, let's read some of this. I'm actually curious to see what they say about this. Experts are keeping their eyes peeled. Experts. Boom, right there. I have a question from the first word. Who is the expert? An expert in what? Do you see how they just automatically, like, you know, approve of unknown phantoms? Experts. And yet, you can't have real truth seekers, you know what I mean? Like, who have been studying things, you know, along these lines. Like, they don't want these people like us named. But they name vague phantom entities to prove their case. Experts. Okay, thank you. Experts are keeping their eyes peeled. Oh, I missed David. David, he spelled my name wrong, but I still saw it. All right, David Levi says, JayDreamerZ, have you heard the term sky rivers? Yeah, recently. They just invented that, I think. And what are your thoughts on them? Oh, okay. Before I read the rest of your comment, let me just tell you real quick. So I believe that the sun's heating up right now. And as it heats up, it's creating what you're referring to, I believe, as sky rivers. Okay. It's creating these new currents and new paths that are also all going into flux. So they're unpredictable, basically. I never heard of the Sky River until this year. Yeah, me too, right? They have to make up these new terms because of this new stuff that keeps popping up left and right. Okay, right on. Well, I think that the Sky Rivers are because of the sun, but all right, let's read the rest of this. It says, experts are keeping their eyes peeled for brighter, more active auroras following the discovery of a hole. See how they put that in quotes? Why do you keep using that word? You know what I mean? Like, is it a hole in the sun? What's going on? Like, use the right terminology, precision of language. Let's do this. So coronal holes. Let's learn about that real quick. Coronal holes. Now, I can tell you from my understanding of the academic version of the different structures of the sun and the layers and all that stuff, that the corona is basically the outside. Okay, so the outside of the sun. So there is a hole in the outside of the sun, or the outside surface of the sun, the corona, I guess you could call it, right? There's a hole in that. So that right there, even if it's not true, regardless, okay, the sign and the omen that's being spoken to me from the song of the world is that holes are starting to pop up in our world, okay? Whether it be just a topic or a subject matter or whatever, holes, this concept of holes in space or holes at the poles, holes on the sun and stuff like that, holes on the canopy of the sun or the corona of the sun or whatever, which leads to a hole in our sky. Okay, that's if it's happening way out there, if it happens with the sun, it's going to happen with us. Okay, if it happens with the moon, it's probably going to happen with us. It's all reciprocated. Coronal holes, or openings in the sun's magnetic field. Openings in the sun's magnetic field. I also have a question about that. How is that even possible? Like, isn't the sun so big that its magnetism or its gravity or whatever, however they describe it, is just sucking, you know, like if you get too close, like you'll get sucked into the sun, right? Like, how is there a hole in that? Like, isn't it supposed to be super powerful or what? Anyways, let's see. Openings in the sun's magnetic field are typically, let's read this part. Typically more common. More common. You notice how they say more common, right? They're trying to get you to skip past the fact that it's not common at all. And they're like, oh, well, it's typically more common around the solar minimum time. Okay. I've never heard of holes in the sun ever in my entire life. And I've been around the block a couple times, okay? So yeah, they're trying to tell you that it's normal. Like, this is where I would put in the meme of like the dumpster behind me that's on fire, and I'm like, it's fine. Let's see, around the solar minimum or the sun's least active period. Astronomers have expected to see fewer of these openings as we approach solar maximum. Yeah, okay, I'll bet you see a lot more than a lot less. But a new coronal hole the size of 20 to 30 Earths is busy blasting solar winds our way. Hold on. Let me go back a bit. I'm trying to understand this. Openings in the sun's magnetic field. So what is that, like reverse magnetism? Like it's shooting stuff further out? I'm not sure I understand. I'm not sure I completely understand that. But anyways, I don't need to. That's fine. A new coronal hole. A new one. A new hole has been ripped open in the sun, and this is not like mind-blowing, everyone needs to get their go bag, get prepared, you know what I mean? Kind of stuff. It's just not. This is like a little side story. Like, yeah, by the way, there's a brand new hole in the sun. In other news, like that's kind of how they mention this, right? The size of 20 to 30 Earths. Well, it has to be whenever you make the sun way bigger than it actually is. So everything is going to be way bigger whenever they describe it. Freight Train, good to see you. Hey, Freight Train says, I love the Omens shows. Thanks. So I guess it's blasting solar wind our way. What is that? Right? How do you have wind in space? Why is that acceptable? Why is that acceptable to anybody in the modern age that there's space weather? I hate that. I can't stand. When did they start saying space weather? I'm going to ask it. Let's see. When did the term space weather begin? I guess. I'm truly begin. I really want to know. The term space weather was first used in the 1950s. Okay. And came into common usage in the 90s. I don't think so. I'm a product of the 90s. We didn't talk about space weather ever. Never. Not in my world. Okay. Not in my block. Not where I've been. We didn't have space weather. Okay. It was a vacuum. Later, it was generalized to space climate. Oh, sweet. Right on. We've added now, I guess. Now there's climate in space. Okay. Research discipline, which focuses on general behaviors of longer and larger scale variabilities and effects. What is that? Just puke on my computer screen right there? It looks like someone just threw up right there. Like, that's just nothing. What does that even mean? Anyways, space weather. That's so weird. All right, coronal holes. Coronal holes allow solar winds. That's insane. Okay, coronal holes allow solar winds to pass through unobstructed. Okay. Unobstructed by what? There's nothing there. It's space. Like, there's nothing there. While solar winds usually leave the sun at around 250 million miles an hour. That's so fast. That's so impossibly fast. They can pass through coronal holes twice that speed. Nice. That wind should travel back in time, I feel. I feel like that's fast enough for that wind to go back in time. And like, we don't even have to worry about it. It's already happened. You know what I mean? Like, these winds are going so fast, they should be time traveling. They can pass through coronal holes at twice that speed. These winds reach Earth in 2 to 4 days, causing minor disruptions to Earth's magnetosphere. This is also interesting to me, right? Because they don't ever show you like models, like working models of this stuff happening. Because if you do, you have to take into consideration all of the spin and stuff. Hey, I got a donation. Alex Dunn. What's up, Alex Dunn? Thank you. I super appreciate you. Thank you. So check this out. Hold on. Let me go. What was I saying here? The winds, the time traveling solar winds, blah, blah, blah. Oh, that's right. So they don't show you how this works often, okay? Because it's mind-boggling how this would have to work, okay? So let's just start with the sun, okay? In the academic model, this is a ball of fire. They say plasma, but it's basically a ball of fire, okay? That in itself is also spinning and doing all the same things that the other planetary bodies do. It's probably got a wobble and a spin and all that fun stuff. At the very least, they say it's spinning, okay? At the very least. But while it's spinning, it's also flying. Whoosh, like in this direction. Whatever direction it flies in, it's flying in one direction, right? Allegedly. While it's flying, hold on, the chat like keeps freezing for some reason. Okay, so while the sun is flying through uncharted territory in vast nothingness on a collision course with something, I'm sure, right? In that model. While that's all happening, it's spinning around and it's going, zzz, which means if it shoots something out of whatever side, right? It's going to shoot it out, but it's also going to like be moving. So it's if wind shoots out of the sun, this is the most ridiculous thing I've ever even heard myself say. All right, if wind shoots out of the sun, okay, space wind, time traveling space wind. If it shoots out of the sun, it's going to shoot, and then it's also like going to go around in a circle, right? Because it's spinning, allegedly. Isn't that true? Right? The wind is going to be spinning around, right? Okay, sweet. So it's traveling in one direction, it's spinning. It's got like wind shooting out of it, spiraling around as it's spinning. And then we are also going around it, spinning, wobbling, tilting. What other kind of movements do they say that we do? I can't even keep track. Okay, spinning, wobbling, tilting at the very least, right? We're doing all this stuff. The sun's over there doing all this stuff. And then it's like, and then we're like, oh no. But what are the odds that would even hit us? You know what I mean? Like, and if anything, is it like a laser beam wind? Or doesn't it disperse in all of the vast space climate and weather that's out there? Isn't it dispersing or something over billions of miles? How far away is the sun? How far away is the sun? Allegedly. I should type that in. Allegedly. The sun is about, 93, how many is that? Million. Okay, 93 million miles away. Some wind. Okay. Now, secondly, let's just imagine that. Let's say that that's all true. Okay, fine, sweet. Let's say that the sun's spinning around, fireballs going through space, uncharted territory, inevitably will crash into something, right? I mean, that's pretty good odds, right? Wind comes out of the sun. If that's true, and it's like that strong that it's just on course to just crash into the earth, doesn't that have the possibility of like blowing us off course? You know what I mean? Or maybe blowing our weather completely off of the planet? Like wind that's going so fast it can travel through time, is probably going to blow away all of our atmosphere, I'm guessing. I don't know. I got so many questions about all this stuff. All right, we got Earth Wisdom who says, Jay, the sun should watch its diet to avoid solar winds coming out of its ears. Yes, indeed, it should. It's weird, man. I don't know. It's weird. So, yeah, here's a picture. Check that out. Boom. Now, I don't understand this. I mean, I don't understand any of it. Don't get me, actually, let me backtrack. I understand all of it. Okay. Every single thing they teach about the sun, the solar system, space, all of that stuff. I used to love that stuff. I ate that stuff up. I would watch Jeopardy I couldn't wait to watch Jeopardy. You know what I mean? I became an expert in all of their little trivia. Okay. I could tell you how much the shuttles weighed and how far away things were and all that fun, crazy trivia. Hammer. It's hammer time. What's up, Hammer? Thank you. Oh, that's tight. How cool is that? I didn't know you could do that. That's awesome. I'll leave that up for a sec. Anyways, let's get back to the sun. All right. I studied all this stuff. So I get it. I understand what they're saying. I'm just saying it doesn't make actual sense. That's what I'm saying. I'm saying I'm not to toot my own horn, but I'm fairly intelligent. And I'm telling you from my own intelligent perspective, none of this story adds up when held to scrutiny. Okay. Even this picture, none of these things add up. None of them. Okay. There's truth in everything. Don't get me wrong. But anyways, let me just get to the point. This is a ball of light. Okay. That is darkness. like they're trying to say, no. It's actually super bright right there. It's actually really bright. You just can't see it. Are you freaking joking me right now? Are you kidding me? You must be talking to somebody else. Like, you're clearly not speaking to the intelligent community. Like, oh yeah, yes, we agree. The sun's all super bright. And I'm like, what about that weird dark spot where there is no light? Actually, there's like lots of light. It's just like cooler. than the rest of it, so it's dark. Okay. Okay, it's cooler. I don't even know if that's their explanation. I mean, this is that's their explanation for a sunspot. And this is a giant sunspot. So I'm assuming that maybe they're going to say the same thing. I don't know. Let's ask it. Let's ask it. Let's say, how are holes on the sun made? Like, genuinely asking. In ultraviolet views of the sun, coronal holes appear as dark splotches. Okay, how are they made? These are regions where the sun's magnetic field lines are connected directly to interplanetary space. What? Hold on. These are regions where the sun's magnetic field lines are connected directly to interplanetary space. Let's continue. Maybe it'll make sense. Allowing solar material to escape out in a high-speed stream of solar wind. All right, check this out. Let's say that we had a big old volcano on the Earth, right? And it okay, let's say Yellowstone super volcano blows up. All right, let's just say that happens, and it ejects like a big old chunk of our surface, right? Would we, if we had people that lived on the moon and they were on their news, would they be like, so there's a hole in the Earth now, and it's creating wind that's headed our direction? You know what I mean? Like, no, like you would expect tangible pieces of something to be flying your way. All right, so it says allowing solar material to escape out. So basically pieces of the sun to escape out in a high-speed stream of solar wind, leaving a dark, quote-unquote, hole near the surface of the sun. Wait a minute, why do they keep doing that again? I want to know what this hole is. Is it a hole? Why are you putting quotes? Why is everybody putting quotes around the word hole? I don't get that. I really don't get that. Maybe because it's ridiculous. I don't get it. This has not explained to me why it's dark on that particular part, or why there is even a hole there. Like, you would assume that the sun would fill that up pretty quick. You know what I mean? It'd still be bright and stuff. I don't know. Something's wrong with that. Anyway, so this happened. There's a hole in the sun. There's many holes, I guess. They're just growing all over the place. Now, let me also, I just want to put this into your minds, okay? True or not true, doesn't matter. Irrelevant. It matters not, right? We know that there are sunspots. I can see them with my bare eyes. Sometimes. Depends on the lighting and stuff, right? But if the sun can get this dark, I hope it's a big picture. All right, sweet. Look at that. Look at all that. Like, that's a missing light in the middle right there, right? If the sun can do that on a tiny sunspot, and if it can do that in a big old hole, doesn't it stand to reason that the entire sun can do that? Not talking about an eclipse. I'm just talking about the whole sun. Just, it's contagious or whatever is happening up there, and it all turns dark. Yes, I'd say that's a feasibility. That's a possibility, right? It's feasible that could happen. But that's me. That's me. Anyway, so these holes are opening up on the sun, okay? Holes are also like portals, doorways, okay? So this is more omens and signs coming our way. So holes are opening up in the sun, which allow solar winds to travel through the climate of space and laser past all the weather and all that stuff or whatever. Anyways, all of that solar wind breathes on the Earth, and then we get these auroras or whatever. Okay? They're all connected. So anytime you see something crazy happening with the sun or the moon or stars or anything, you're going to see crazy stuff in turn happening here in our world. The larger objects are going to give rise to more extreme changes in our world. For example, the holes opening up in the sun lead to these crazy auroras. Let me see if we can find some of these auroras real quick. So I did post a pretty sweet video. There's many different videos that are online, especially on Twitter, that people are just posting all these various pictures and stuff. Check this out. Check that out. They say this is like a sun tornado. Right? That's like, you could fit how many Earths up there or something, you know what I mean? I don't know. I'm not sure how much I'm going with all of that. Anyways, I don't know what this article is. The article kind of sucks. Hold on, let me get out of here. All right, anyways, you guys saw it, right? The auroras are stretching further and further south. They're getting brighter and brighter. And I posted this awesome video. People are starting to take pictures of the auroras and they're coming to life. You know what I mean? Like they're shape shifting. The video that I just recently updated, it shows it in such a way that it looks like snakes. Right? I'm not talking about like the auroras and how they just sort of undulate back and forth and they do that weird wave pattern in the sky. That's nice and pretty and everything. I'm talking about the auroras that are becoming electrically active so that it actually looks like you're living in a plasma ball looking up. And it's like doing all the stuff that it does in a plasma ball on a small scale. It's starting to do on the large scale up there in our upper atmosphere. Here's another thing too. Hey, Nicholas Kane said, I love your show. Thank you. I super appreciate you. Welcome. All right, so here's another thing too, right? So they're showing how everything's amplifying, okay? And it is amplifying, I believe. I mean, that's my experience. I'm witnessing everything that's amplifying. It's being charged up. It's getting ready for the big show. And you look up at these auroras and you can see the electricity, right? Typically green. Now the reds are coming in, and they're shape-shifting up there. They're doing all kinds. They're turning into weird things. I mean, like, they're really good examples of what I normally talk about on my channel when I talk about like sky beams, the blue beams that shoot up from inside of the world, the red plasma snakes that come down and stuff. These auroras are giving you a preview, a small taste, just a fraction of what is to come and just around the corner. And check this out. All the people's reaction is exactly what I knew it was going to be and what it's been prophesied to be many times in the past. It's happened over and over. At first, it's beautiful. At first, everyone's like, oh my God, come outside. And some people catch it, and then it's going to get stronger. And pretty soon, it's going to get to the point where people are going out and you're going to see these videos all over the internet pretty soon. Watch. Just watch. It's going to happen, okay? You're going to start seeing like Carrington event level events. Kind of redundant. You're going to start seeing huge electrical phenomena in the sky. So much so that it's going to be all over the internet. You know what I mean? People are going to be like trying to get the best shots of it or whatever. And that's what they do. They come out and they go, ooh, oh my God, look at that. Until it starts to get a little too serious. Till it starts to get a little too close. Till it starts to get a little too bright. Or till it starts to get a little too fast and doing weird stuff. And it starts flipping out and getting out of control. And then people are going to start panicking. Then people are going to start going, whoa, especially when one of them reaches down and just kind of whips, you know, a city or something like that, right? Then people are going to start changing their tune from like, oh, I can't wait. I hope I catch the auroras. I hope I get to see them or whatever, especially when you see all of that magenta. Man, I'm not even like showing stuff in the background. Anyways, when you start seeing all of those reds coming down, that's not good. These are good. Okay. The green ones, totally fine. That's fine. When you see the red ones coming down, that's not good, because the red ones mean that the ionized particles are coming from way high up, all the way down where they're not supposed to be. So if you start seeing the red ones, especially if it looks like, you know, bolts of electricity up there in the sky instead of just slowly undulating, you know, waves or whatever, when you start seeing it move like electricity, like how we see down here, whew, man, better get ready. All right, anyways, let me check my notes. There was some other stuff I wanted to talk about. Pardon me. Where are my notes? There they are. All right, let's see. I'm gonna come back to the moon in just a bit. So we talked about, let's see, Artemis, the photo on Mars versus missing photos of the moon. You know what I mean? I could talk about the moon all day. I could talk about what they talk about the moon all day long. Let's see. Moon, black hole faces the Earth. Yeah, okay. The black hole's facing us. Okay. Like, no, it's not. I'm just telling you. Like, it's not. There's no black hole that's facing anything, okay? Let's see. Underwater heat waves. So I guess there have been some things lately where they're talking about how there's underwater heat waves and like the bottoms of the oceans, I guess, are starting to get warm. That's interesting too, right? I wonder what's going on under our world where everything's starting to get warm and warm up. Oh, check this out. Runaway supermassive black hole caught by Hubble. So check this out. The Hubble can catch a black hole that's supermassive, that's running away from wherever it was, but they can't just turn that around and like zoom into the moon. You know what I mean? What else? Auroras. Let's see. We talked about the auroras. So let me come back to the auroras real quick. You're going to see more of these. Okay. If you missed them and you're like, oh man, I missed the auroras. Oh man, once in a lifetime event. Yeah, it used to be. Not anymore. Okay. You're stepping into a new age and new world and things. There's new normals that are just around the corner, right? You're going to start seeing a lot of that. You're going to start seeing all kinds of what people are going to call UFO activity. You're going to see all kinds of different weird lights in the sky. Some of it, you could tell, right? Like, have you ever seen those videos where they show you like up in the clouds, there's like some weird plasma light and all of a sudden it just like jumps like to some other place, like on the cloud. It's like dancing around. That's plasma up in the sky. And it can move super fast and it can cut at crazy angles. It can literally do pretty much anything you can think of. The plasma can do up there in all kinds of fancy, creative, crazy ways. All right, let's see. All right, I'm going to come back just as a heads up. We do have some videos coming up about Moses when he was a horned giant. Oh, that comet. Oh, that's right. I want to talk about comet speeding up. Is it a comet? Scientists solve the mystery behind the Mau alien something something. Is this it? Oh, scientists explain alien comet Oumuamua's strange acceleration. So before I even open this up, let me give you the gist. All right. First of all, there's this rock, this space rock that's flying through space, just like everything else. And they didn't think it was a comet or anything. And all of a sudden, it speeds up. And they have no idea why it speeds up. So everyone's automatically like, oh, it must be a UFO. It must be aliens. They must have shifted gears or something. I don't know. Scientists explain alien comet and its strange acceleration. Look at this beautiful drawing. It's actually not that great. You know what I mean? I could pretty much tell the computer in 5 seconds to make me something that's more realistic looking than that. These days. Welcome to technology. Let's see. This artist's illustration shows the wayward interstellar visitor Oumuamua racing toward the outskirts of our solar system. Blah, 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 blah. Anyways, I'm not going to read this. The comet sped up. And Chicken Little, thank you, $5. Chicken Little, let me see what you said in the chat. Chicken Little says, do you think the massive fires were to get all ready for the red skies? I'm not sure what you mean by massive fires. So I'm not exactly sure what you're referring to, honestly. But if you're talking about like forest fires and stuff, possibly. Yeah. Go ahead and let me know like what fires you're talking about. I have no idea what fires you're talking about. All right. So, and thank you for your donation. I super appreciate you. Now, this comet sped up. It's not supposed to do that, right? If you set something in motion, unless it's acted on by another force, it should not be speeding up, especially if it's just some rock that's just flying through space. You know what I mean? It should not speed up whatsoever. So here's what they're going to tell you. Okay. I'm not even going to read this article because I already have. Many like it at least, right? They're saying, oh, it was filled with gas and then it exploded in one particular direction, giving it a boost in the direction it was already going in. Like, okay, it just happened to explode gas in the perfect direction, in the direction it's already going in, right? And now it just speeds up. It's just a comet that's speeding up, I guess. Anyways, these are signs and omens and wonders and strange things that they're telling us that should tell you that things are quickening here in our world. The next great daytime comet. Okay, I do want to see that. What's this about? The next great daytime comet. Oh, wow. Look at them. Isn't that kind? See this button? Continue without supporting. I do that. I do not support any of these people who insist I give them money when I haven't even read the title. Isn't it? Who does that? You know what I mean? Unless like you're a regular, I guess. If you're a regular, maybe you're like, oh yeah, I totally want to support them or whatever. But Jesus, man, like let me get a taste. Let me read your article first. It's irritating. All right, a newly discovered comet is on its way into the inner solar system and already grabbing headlines as the next possible daytime comet. Early estimates say it may outshine the brightest stars in the sky. Well, yeah, if it's, listen, there are no stars in the sky in the day. Okay, I haven't seen any. Not lately. Maybe, you know, right towards sunset. That's not really daytime, though. I'm talking about daytime. We all know what daytime is, and there are no stars in the sky that you can see in the daytime. So that's automatically not super impressive. Let me read that again because I can't stand it. My analytical side is engaged when I read this stuff. So like I get very analytical about it. All right, newly discovered comet is on its way to the inner solar system, blah, 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 grabbing headlines as the next possible daytime comet. Early estimates say it may outshine the brightest stars in the sky and become visible to the naked eye during the daylight hours for a brief time in October of 2024. That's an interesting year. Here's everything you need to know about the incoming comet, including when and where to look for it. How bright will it be? That's the $1 million question. Okay, so they don't know. It will be much brighter than the green comet. Good. I was kind of disappointed by the green comet. I barely even saw it. Like it just looked like a little dot in the sky. Like I want some scary comets. Okay, that's just me. Like I'm hoping for the big ones. I want to see comets that have people's heart beating. Like I want that kind of a comet. I hope it is that kind of a comet. You will see a comet, by the way, before the apocalypse comes. Like it's pretty much, what is that? Come on. You see how they do that? That's not even real. Now, look at that. They're trying to say that's like a snake. God, like everything is Photoshop these days, man. Like what is real anymore? Anyways, so they're saying that you're going to need to see a bright comet in our near future. What they're doing is they're preparing you, okay? So that you don't all start panicking and freaking out whenever you start seeing all of these ridiculous changes that are happening in the sky, in the heavens, and in the world around us. They're starting to just give it to you a little bit ahead of time so that you start getting used to it so that you don't all freak out and cause riots and the stock market crashes. And they want business to continue as usual for as long as possible. Okay, because they don't want any of you getting in their way whenever they start to blast off and leave this place behind. Okay, they have plans, they have rockets, they have slaves, they have organizations and stuff all in place so that they can get out of here when the window of opportunity opens. They don't want all you people messing it up with riots and going crazy, and then they have to micromanage and worry about stuff that's unimportant to them, honestly. All right. What's up, JJ Organics? I see you in the chat. All right, let me see what else we got. Let's see. I want to kind of skim through this real quick. I didn't have a lot, really, to talk about this week. Some things, I suppose. Let's see. Where are we? Science? Let's go back to science. All right, we talked about the weird pictures. We talked about how a black hole shouldn't really be able to face in one direction. Especially given that they say, you know, it's all theoretical. They don't know what's on the other side of black holes. I think we should get back to the moon. What do you guys think? I'm just seeing if there's anything I forgot. Last week I forgot all kinds of stuff, like that comet slowing down or speeding up. I forgot about that too. Comets that speed up. Let's see. Changes ahead as NASA's human spaceflight head plans retirement. Spaceflight head plans retirement. Oh, I don't care about some dudes retiring from NASA. Who cares about that? Let's see. Okay. I think that was pretty much it. So let's go back to the moon. I want to go back to the moon real quick. Let me check my notes here. Oh, actually, let's type in Artemis. This is going to be interesting. All right. This is the big show, if you guys are ready. All right, let's check out some of these articles. NASA Artemis 2 milestone. All major structures of moon rocket core stage are connected. Did you know that this Artemis rocket is like over 1 million pounds or something. That's pretty damn heavy. You know what I mean? I'm not doubting it or anything. I'm just saying that's a lot of weight to lift. Like, that's a bunch. Let's see. NASA to name Artemis 2 crew next week. The first moon astronauts in 50 years. Okay. All right, so they haven't even picked a team yet? And they're supposed to be going, like, pretty soon? Dude, they should have picked some people. They should have had people picked out when they were in elementary. Like, they've had a lot of time to prepare for this. Artemis 2 moon rocket, moon water map. No. I want to know about going back to the moon. Artemis 2, blah, blah, blah. Let's see. There's a humanoid robot I guess they're going to send. Interesting. They don't even have little cars up there, right? Oh, yeah, I guess this is the big deal is their black spacesuits, I guess, that they're going to have. They're going to have some black spacesuits for this new moon mission. Okay, let me talk about this new moon mission. Oh, look at, they did it again. You see that? They're making it so you can't read stuff on the internet. Isn't that insane? That's crazy. All right. Let's talk about this moon mission, and then I'll show you guys my new puppy. Artemis 2. So I don't know, they're making a big deal that they have black spacesuits or whatever. I don't really care that much about space fashion or whatever. But let's talk about this. Going back to the moon. They're going to go back to the let's search actually. When are we going back to the moon? When are we going back to the moon? Boom. All right, let's see. The first crewed mission is scheduled to loop around the moon in 2024. All right, what is it? 2023? And they don't even have a team picked out? No worries. I'm sure it's fine. And the first Artemis landing is currently scheduled for 2025. All right, so they're going to blast off in 2024 next year sometime. And they're going to land in 2025, I guess. The scientific and cultural payoff for a lunar return could be huge. Right, that's... hold on. Let's see. Can humans go back to the moon? People always ask. I like to see this. Let's see what people are asking. When are humans going to return to the moon? NASA's Artemis program seeks to return humans to the moon by 2024. Dude, that's next year. Why am I just now reading about this on like some side conversation on the internet? I feel like this should be #1 on all of the channels, everywhere. Like more than our little wars or whatever wars that are happening. I don't even know what's going on out there. Anyways, establish a permanent human presence that will allow astronauts to visit the moon on a regular basis. SpaceX also intends to transport humans into lunar orbit. All right, cool. Let's talk about this. I would like to get a decent picture of the moon pulled up. Let's see. Picture of the moon in space. Let's see what they do. You never know what you're going to get when you type in stuff like that. All right, this will suffice. Actually, this one's crazier, so I'll just put this one up there. All right, let's talk about this real quick. All right, I want to talk about going back to the moon. And I do have the chat pulled back up, so. Oh, who is that? Sage. Sage says, Jay, don't forget to show the new puppy. I will. As soon as we're done with this little moon part, I will promise I will share the puppy. All right, so let's talk about this. There's a project called Artemis. I haven't even done a deep dive into the symbolism of the name and the etymology and stuff. I already know it's probably represents some crazy stuff. But they have a project called Artemis. Allegedly, they're going to go to the moon next year. Now, I did talk about this a couple years back whenever, I was talking about the symbolism of them trying to go to the moon by a certain date. Why? You know what I mean? Like, why we got to get to the moon before 2024, bro? Like, it's going to be there for a while. Unless it won't, right? Unless it's not going to be there for a while. But like, what is the sense of urgency? Like, oh, the deadline is 2024. Like, you haven't gone for 50 years. Stop acting like you're in such a hurry. Okay? Like, get your ducks in a row, do what you got to do, because I promise you, check this out. This is just my own commentary now, okay? Hold on. Where am I in the chat? Oh, here we go. All right, so check this out. First, let's go back. Let's go way back to the 1950s or whatever it was. 69, right? Allegedly, some dudes blasted off and went to the moon. They had no problem with the Van Allen belts. They had no problem with radioactive material. Their biggest problem, according to some people, was just there was so much dust that was being kicked up into the lunar atmosphere, right? Which was their own fault for driving. They're doing donuts on the moon in this buggy, right? With zero regard. Like, don't you think if it's your first time on the moon, on another world, you'd be a bit more careful? You know what I mean? Like, don't you think you'd be extremely careful? Like, not doing donuts on your lunar buggy thing, you know what I mean? Like, taking all kinds of risks. One guy had a golf club too. How is that approved? How is that even okay to bring that? You know what I mean? Apparently, you can do whatever you want in space, right? You could shoot things into space. There's all the space trash that's piling up all over the place, which I saw some articles about too, right? They're like, oh, the trash is starting to pile up in space. Well, what would you even allow it for? Would you think it was just going to degrade in a vacuum? You think your Tesla floating around there in space is just going to degrade? It's just going to, you know, it's trash. Anyways, my mind is like all over the place tonight. I'm so sorry. Let's talk about this moon. All right, so some dudes blasted off. Let's talk about this because they have to replicate many of the similar conditions, right? How fast do astronauts have to go to get to the moon? Sounds like a legitimate question, right? The answer that pops up, roughly 3,333 miles an hour. Roughly. That's actually an exact number. Like, if it was rough, it'd be about 3,000 miles an hour. You know what I mean? It's roughly 33333. Like, that sounds like garbage just to start. Historically, most lunar missions have taken about 3 days to reach the moon. Well, that's interesting because it's like right there. It's not that far away. Assuming the moon is at an ideal distance of 240,000 miles away, which is crazy far, this means astronauts travel roughly 3,333 miles per hour on their journey to the moon. Let's look up how fast Mach 1 is. Mach 1 is 767 miles an hour. How fast were they going? 3,300. So how many Machs is that? Let's do like Mach 10 and see what that is. Oh, it's not quite Mach 10. Let's do Mach 8. No, we're gonna have to come down a bit. Mach 4? Okay, so between Mach 4 and Mach 5. All right, cool. So in order to get to the moon, they're going to have to go over 3,000 miles an hour. I'm pretty sure hold on. How fast, let me backtrack. How fast did the Apollo 11 travel? Yes, that's fine. Let's see. Good luck and Godspeed, blah, blah, blah. Thank you very much, blah, blah, blah. The spacecraft is 37 nautical miles. I just want to know how fast it went. No one gives a crap about how many feet per second also, okay? Like, also, whoever's out there in the government that's posting crap in weird increments, stop doing that. Use miles or kilometers, and that's it. Nobody gives a crap about how many feet per second it goes, because we don't calculate crap in feet per second, okay? Unless you're an ant. All right, so 6,340 miles an hour How fast did Apollo 11 travel per second? Okay. Man, I don't even want to do that. Anyways, let's just take this one. 6,000 between 3 and 6,000 miles an hour to get to the moon. Let's just generalize, okay? Even if we take the low end of 3,000 miles an hour, how do you slow down? Okay, do you need help from space weather and all of the space climate and space winds and stuff to help slow you down out there in the vacuum, right? That's crazy. Yeah, so they have little spurts of air, just like they show in movies. Air. Or, what they'll tell you is like, oh no, actually they use very sophisticated reverse thrusters. Okay, if you're going even 3,000 miles an hour through the vacuum of space, which is what I'm going to call it because I'm old school and we didn't do space climate and weather and all that stuff. We just had a vacuum. If you're going 3,000 miles an hour through the vacuum of space, okay, and you want to slow down and land on a place, okay, you're going to stop. You're going to slow down, orbit around it or whatever. Like, first of all, think about this, right? They say that the moon's gravitational pull is much weaker than ours, obviously, right? So what they try to say is they get real close. They just kind of park up next to the moon. They get super close to it. And then they do this, what they call like slingshot maneuver. Well, the slingshot is whenever you get really close and you like sort of allow it to like fling you back the other direction, right? But if you keep on turning, I guess, I don't know how they turn in space either. That's just fucking, excuse my language. That's just stupid. It's just stupid, okay? Like, dude, you're not turning, okay? I don't care if you put wings on it. I don't care if you have spritzes of air or thrusters off to the side or whatever. Okay, space is gladly taking whatever you give it as a giant vacuum, okay? It's sucking your rocket fuel out of the rocket. You're not pushing off of anything to turn or bank or maneuver or whatever. Anyways, where was I? I'm just rambling now. I hope you guys are okay with me rambling for a bit. Yeah, reverse thruster. Val, hold on. Val's in the chat and says, a reverse thruster is a effing fart. Well, so check this out. This is 3,000 miles an hour. You got nothing to slow you down. You got nothing to stop. You might as well have the Batmobile. Like, you know that little thing that he has that shoots out and it wraps around like a lamp or something so he can make a bank maneuver and he can turn? You might as well just put that on your spaceship and say that that's what you're using and that you're just grabbing little asteroids out. You know, I mean, anything. If you're going to make up this craziest stuff, like you can slow down while going 3,000 miles an hour through a vacuum with spritzes of air or even reverse thrusters, dude, I imagine in my mind, first of all, your thrusters, your initial thruster that blasted you off to to ridiculous speeds, okay? They work here because we have atmosphere. We have something to push off of to get you up to that speed. So if you use your reverse thrusters, which I'm imagining are less powerful than your initial ones that you needed to get off the planet, right? In the vacuum of space, you're probably going to have to be reverse thrusting for a few years before you even like start to approach the speed that you want to slow down to. Okay, even if it did work, I'm sure it would take forever for it to actually slow you down or whatever, because you're not pushing off of anything. And if you're trying to tell me, well, it's not a complete vacuum, you know, there's still space weather and there's some climate out there or whatever, like Jesus Christ, make up your mind. What are you pushing off of? What is out there that you're banking off of, that you're making left-hand turns, right-hand turns, donuts, flippies, spinnies? Like, what are you using to maneuver, right? Those air spritzes? Pss, 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 pss. Get out of here with that. Don't do that. Okay, I don't believe in air spritzes. I don't believe in reverse thrusters out in the greatest vacuum of big old space or whatever. Anyways, I'm kind of rambling. So here's my point. That was the first time. That was the first time, right? And they live streamed this onto people's TVs, allegedly. Okay? Like, none of it makes sense. Okay, they streamed this to televisions. They called the White House from the moon. Okay? Just Yes, President, we're on the moon right now. Oh, well, you're live on TV. Everyone's watching you. Okay, so the reason I'm pointing this out, right? One, people were so caught up in like the excitement that they didn't use their analytical parts of their minds. Today's segment is brought to you by the word analytical. I'm going to use that word a bit. They weren't being analytical about it. They weren't being able to be rational about what they were seeing because they were so caught up in the hype and the excitement. It's just like whenever you're like into like a jam, like at a concert or something, right? And you totally forgot what the song is about because you're just rocking out, having so much fun. You're just chanting along. That's exactly what everybody back in the 60s was doing until there was those few splinter cell groups that weren't impressed by all of the pomp and glory and all the parades and, you know what I mean? All the hubbub and fuss and I don't know. I'm going to use some older words as I can. Some people saw past that and they were able to think rationally. And because they were able to think rationally, they were able to ask questions. They were able to ask, well, wait a minute, if this is true, then how is this explained? And wait a minute, if this looks like this, then how is this possible? Or how is this even, why doesn't, you know what I mean? They have so many questions about the whole moon thing, right? Just getting there, just the first time. And it's because it was televised. It's because they screwed up, basically, right? Because they allowed themselves to be open to scrutiny. Now, when they go back, if they go back, I'm going to do like a little prediction, a little prediction. Okay. This is my guess of what I feel is likely. Okay. Either because I don't feel like they can, okay, time out. God, there's so many layers. All right. First, that object up there in the sky, okay, is a light. It's not physical. You cannot land on it. It is inside of our atmosphere and it is nearby, relatively speaking. It is under the sky itself. It is under the dome of our world. Now, that's my cosmology, that's my perspective, and it's based on many different things, okay? You don't have to agree with it. It's totally fine. But I am telling you, that's a light. That's not an object reflecting light. That is a light in and of itself. It is a light up there in the sky. Now, the image that you're seeing, right, comes from something that is solid, comes from an actual structure, right? So you're seeing the image. The light itself is just a light. You cannot land on that. You try to land on the moon, you're going to just be disappointed. You're just going to fly right through it, basically. And I don't know. It sounds dangerous. Anyways, so they need to get back to the moon. Or they say that they're going to go back to the moon. Either there's probably going to be something sad. I have to be careful about, like, you know, trigger words and stuff, but either it's not going to work out and I feel bad for, you know, whoever tries, because this has happened before, okay? Because they cannot go there, okay? They cannot go there. And like the last time, you know, some stuff happened and it didn't work out for the poor people. But anyways, either something like that's going to happen, or they're going to have to step up their game as far as like what they show to us. Because, you know, if they live streamed it before they even had the internet and live streaming and all that stuff, like if they were showing it live on TV, you know, we're expecting a lot more, right? You know, we're expecting like the full first class experience, right? Like I should be able to put on the VR headset and like be there with the astronauts on the surface of the moon, you know, looking around. Like, I don't know. But what I'm saying is, if it's not accurate, if it's not real or feasible that they can do that, and they try to show it like they are doing it in today's day with so much technology that we have going on right now, they're going to have to either pull the wool over people's eyes in a similar fashion, trying the same trick a second time, just getting everyone hyped up about it, hoping that they can just dismiss and minimize all of the independent thinkers, right? Or something else. Or they're going to have to green screen everything. I don't know, man. I can tell you this much. Like, you're not going to see there's certain things they don't do, okay? They don't take the Hubble and point it at the moon and zoom in and take awesome pictures for us to see. They don't do that. When they're out there in space, you know what I mean? Like they have, when you go to your little YouTube channel and you're like, I want to see the Earth from space or whatever, right? And then they show you that. It's always the same size right there. You can't even see all of it, all of the Earth or whatever, right? They don't turn around. They don't take you for a tour. They don't, you know what I mean? It's just like, look here and only here, basically, right? There's all kinds of weird stuff that's happening up there. But anyways, they're going to have to lift millions of pounds off of the ground. I don't think those rockets weigh that much. That's just my feeling. Okay, I have no idea. Maybe they do. I don't feel like those rockets weigh that much. Hey, Edward, thank you. Hey, your little puppy picture reminded me of my puppy. Let me get my puppy. Come here, baby. Come here, Scruffy. Come here. Come here. Come here. She's like on the bed behind my green screen. Oh, there she is. Come here. Come here. Yes, come here. Up, up, up. One sec. Oh. Oh, yes, I know. I'm sorry. Okay. Okay, hold on. So this is just like, you know, obviously off topic, but we rescued this puppy, this little cute scruffy pups. Well, thank you, Angel Wings. That was kind. We rescued this little puppy from the shelter, so that they would not kill it. Oh, you got a lot of green screen action going on. Let me see. So she's little scruffy puffs, and she's kind of nervous because, you know, she wasn't in the best shape whenever we rescued her. So I call her Scruffy, because she's all scruffy. She's got some scratch marks and stuff. I don't know if she was hit by a car or if something else happened, you know, but we saw this little puppy right here. Yes. And we just got her like 2 days ago. And she's still kind of getting accustomed to our place, but she's such a cute little girl. Hold on. Let me see if I could. Look at that. Look up there. Look at this. Look. There you go. Look up here. Up here. All right. I better put her down. All right, what's a good? Oh yes. Oh, so much love. All right, hold on. Let me put you back down here. I know. Don't worry. You're okay. Got you. All right. Okay. That's Scruffy. That's her name. Her name is Scruffy because she's Scruffy. All right. Man, what a casual, laid back, like, stream we're having today. So anyways, we're talking about the moon. They're saying that they're going to go back. It's very nonchalant, which is interesting too. You know what I mean? So I don't believe they're going to go to the moon. I don't think they can. Actually, that's not true. Let me backtrack a little bit. I believe that they can get possibly to the physical dome. Because that's what I think the moon actually is just a little portion of our dome up there. But if that's true, that in itself sounds pretty dangerous too. If they're going to go up and land upside down on the ceiling of our world, you know what I mean? Also, they have to make it look like they did last time, right? I believe that the dome of our world is made of ice, and that's why the moon has all this water symbolism and frozen ice and all this stuff left and right? I'm not convinced that it's that dusty, like, why is there so much? That's weird. You know what I mean? Why is there so much dust on the moon? That's weird. Like, shouldn't there be like all kinds of weird debris instead of just dust everywhere? That's weird. Anyways, they have to get past the Van Allen belts, which they've already said, like, we don't know how to do that. So it's interesting to me that they're like next year going to just go land on the moon when they already said, yeah, we have to get past the Van Allen belts first. And then people are like, well, how'd you get past them the first time? And they're like, well, we didn't believe in them. Like, oh, all right. You're going to try that trick again? You're just going to like not tell the astronauts about them or what? That's fine. Anyways, so they have to get past the Van Allen belts. In real life, they have to get past the sky itself or the firmament of the world. If you're into that kind of thing, I am. And if they really are going to land on something, it would have to be inside of this world. And it's really interesting too, because there's articles that have come out in the last couple of years talking about how mainstream academics is now admitting that the moon is inside of Earth's atmosphere technically, and they've like pushed the boundaries of Earth's atmosphere out to the moon for some reason, which is stupid. You know what I mean? That's just dumb. Like, it's very dumb. Oh, thank you. Everybody likes the puppy. I'm so glad. Massagia says, Scruffy is absolutely a bundle of love. Aw, yes. She is very nice. She's very nice. She's an awesome puppy. All right. I'll probably, show you guys a little bit more of Scruffy another time. But let's get back to the moon. I'm not even done. I have not yet begun to blow up the moon. Like, I love blowing the moon up. Because it's everything about it is an anomaly. Right? Everything about this is an anomaly. These people want to get back to the moon. They're going to have to lift millions of pounds off of the ground, which in itself is retarded sounding. Then they're going to blast off. Now, check this out. If you watch this blast off, I'm sure everyone's going to be watching. It's going to do this. And they're going to say, wow, look at it. It's like turning to like go into the Earth's. It's going to do the slingshot deal. No, it's not. It's coming back down. In case you couldn't see that with your own eyeballs. That's what all of them do, for the most part. Okay, I don't know about Elon and his. They're doing some weird stuff. They're getting further up, I think. But those low ones, they go... And then they they have to like start switching the camera angles pretty fast. You know what I mean? Before people start realizing, hey, is that coming back down? Is it crashing? Oh my God, it's crashing. They have to start tricking your eyes relatively quickly when these things take off, because they do not take off and go straight out into space like you would assume they would, right? No, they're like, it's actually super easy if we like take off and then we like cut at this crazy angle and then we like stay at that angle and then we like make a right-hand turn and we go, I don't know. I have no idea. Like, how is any of this stuff even possible? Anyways, so they have to leave the planet. They have to lift millions of pounds, which is crazy. They have to speed up to get to like 3,000 to 6,000 miles an hour, whatever it was, right? Let's get that little moon picture back. They have to speed up to get to the moon. Then, once they get to the moon, like, they have to slow down from 6,000 miles an hour through a vacuum of nothingness. Psst, 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 psst. Here comes the moon, guys. Psst, 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 psst. More spurts of air. That's crazy. Anyways, once they get to the moon, then I guess they're going to like circle, they're going to like dock onto its gravitational pull or something. It's extremely weak in comparison to our world's gravitational pull. Like, they're just going to lock on in. I mean, like, if anything, I imagine these people flying 6,000 miles. Let's say that this is the moon, my little microphone right here, right? And they're coming up on it. If anything, you would imagine that they would just deviate slightly and continue off, just gone. Like, oh, bye, astronauts. And like, here's the last few remaining messages from astronauts that tried to get to the moon, but overshot it by 14 billion miles, as they could not figure out how to slow down in a vacuum. Unity in Compassion says, JayDreamerZ, did you see the video of the rocket that hit the dome? No, I didn't see a rocket hit a dome. It just all of a sudden stopped. Didn't blow up or anything. I don't know, but the dome is said to be pretty damn indestructible for the most part. So I don't know. I haven't seen anything hit a dome. I have seen that video you're talking about, but I'm not going to jump onto the it hit a dome bandwagon. But if that's what you see, that's totally fine. I didn't see it hit anything. I just saw it slow down or whatever. But anyways, they're going to get to the moon. All right, with this crew that they haven't even picked out yet. Then they're going to land. This is the slow version. I'm taking my time with this live stream because I'm having a good time. They're going to get to the moon. What else? They got to bring food, right? They're going to have all the little packages or whatever. They got to bring water. What else? They're going to get to the moon. They're going to have to land. They're going to have to televise all this stuff. right? Or live stream it or whatever, however that works. So I imagine they're going to have a lot of like CGI, like cut scenes, kind of like they do with the rockets when they're taking off. Like, oh, there's the rocket. Oh, here's a computer generated image of a rocket. This is what you should imagine it looking like in space. Here's another thing. They're landing on the dark side of the moon. They're landing on the part you can't see. The fudge. Like, on purpose, right? I mean, just if you could land on the moon, anywhere is impressive. Like, I mean, you should get some claps for like landing, just even hitting it. Like with us spinning and wobbling and gyrating and flying and drunken Earth through nothingness, and then the moon is also doing this and acting all weird, all weird. Like just even actually getting there would be pretty impressive. But they're like, no, we're gonna land on the south pole of the moon. We're going to go explore the South Pole. So it's like they're trying to step it up. You know what I mean? Droopy. Hey, what'd Droopy say? Hold on. Droopy says, why does it do that? It's weird. Droopy says, space junk lands off the coast of Australia. Right. I call it sky junk because I don't think that anything's landing from space. Like nothing's coming in from the other side of the sky. It's all blocked out right now. But yeah, it's just garbage, right? They don't vote on any of this stuff. You and I have no say-so, no opinion. They're just like, yeah, we are going to the moon in 2024. Like, who gave you permission to do that? Like, did you ask anyone if you could go into the heavens and invade God's space? You know, I mean, I'm just, metaphorically or whatever. Who said you could do that? I did not vote for that. I didn't say you could do that. You don't have my permission. I don't think that's really a good idea. You haven't really proven yourselves down here on the planet to me personally. And you just get to do whatever you want. You're making it so that we have to spend all kinds of money and go get approval, licenses, certificates, registration and stuff just to drive a car, just to have your okay that we're responsible enough to drive a car, and you just get to do whatever you want to. Shoot crap out into space and just let it float around. You know what I mean? Like you're just deciding that you're going to go to another world or whatever. Like, they haven't even told us who's going. Who are the representatives of mankind? Humanity. You know what I mean? Have you met them? Like, what if there's aliens on the moon? Let's just assume that the whole moon story is real. All right. Maybe there's aliens up there, right? What if they met these people? Don't you think that like we should know a little bit about the people who are actually going up there so that we can approve of them collectively? Like to represent all of us on the world? Like, man. Anyway, so they're going to get up there and they're going to land on the dark side of the moon where we can't see them. Isn't that convenient? Right? Oh yeah, they're totally up there. But they're like on the dark side. You can't see them. They're going to land somewhere near the Shackelford crater, which is the explorer that went to go search out Antarctica or whatever, which is very interesting because I think Antarctica is basically the dome, aka a part of the moon or whatever. But yeah, they want to land on the dark side of the moon. Like right where it's kind of daytime and nighttime, right on the edge, I guess. Right? They say that that's the south pole of the moon. I didn't even, know that the moon had poles and stuff like that, but I mean, I kind of heard it, but whatever. They're going to land on the dark side. Why would you do that? Why wouldn't you land in the light where you can see what you're doing? Like, why wouldn't you make your first moon trip back in 50 years? You know what I mean? You had all the problems, like trying to figure out how to get back there and stuff. Why wouldn't you do the easiest route possible and the easiest thing possible? Right? They're trying to level it up. Not only are we going to the moon, but we're going to the moon's version of Antarctica. Like trying to make it super impressive to get all the hype or whatever. I'm unimpressed. Land exactly where you did last time, please. Exactly in that area. Go back, pick up all your garbage and your junk, put it back onto your rocket, film it, show us all of the original stuff that's there. This sounds like a great opportunity to prove that you actually, that the first time was legitimate. Nah. Let's go to the dark part where no one can see. That's another thing too. We have such good cameras and stuff, we could pretty much zoom in. Like you can get a P1000 and like pretty much see craters that are, you know, only a few miles wide or whatever. They don't want anyone to be able to see this event, this alleged event, right? All right, hold up. Somebody was in the chat just a minute ago. Who was that? Phil. Ooh, I'm so loud today. Phil, not Bill. Phil says the moon is a reflection of the Earth. Well, thanks for your donation, Phil. I have heard the moon map theory. I do like it. I'm not convinced 100%, but that's okay. I like it. It's creative. It's innovative. I support the moon map thing. I'm not saying it's solid. I'm not saying it's 100%. I'm not saying I'm on board and I'm going to start talking about it, but I like it. It's creative. It's a great idea, and it's more believable than this, than this guy, where the horizon is like 40 feet away. You know what I mean? That's crazy. Yeah, park it where you did last time. Who said that? Sugar Seas says park it where you did last time. Yeah, for sure. I mean, that should be easy, right? Just land in the general vicinity. I mean, come on. If they have it down to that much of a science, I'm pretty sure that that's doable, right? Pull up next to the old marker area. Show us all the old stuff. You know, they're not going to be able to do this. This sounds like quite an undertaking. Okay, this is going to take way more than a talented director and a Hollywood studio. This is going to take way more than that. And it's either going to be the most incredibly cheesiest, worst looking thing I've ever seen, and I'm going to laugh my butt off, right? Or they're going to have some crazy trickery. I don't know. Like, I'm kind of excited to see what they even do. like even I don't believe their story, but I'm interested to see how it's going to come across to the rest of the people. But I think we've already proven in the last couple of years that the masses are easily convinced by whatever they're just told. So they really don't even need to show you a damn thing. They could just tell you. And most people will salute and sing the national anthem and hold hands and sing Kumbaya, and they'll be like, yeah, that's what happened. How do you know? That's what they said happened. Like, okay, right on. Yeah, they don't want people filming it. They don't want people seeing it. They're going to make up all kinds of reasons why you can't actually see the spacecraft up there orbiting around, because you should be able to see that too, right? If something's up there, or, I mean, Jesus Christ, if I can see the moons of Jupiter with my bare eyes sometimes, you know what I mean? Or like with a strong camera or whatever, you should definitely be able to see a space shuttle parked on the side of the moon. You know what I mean? Oh, no, it's in geosynchronous lunar orbit, especially on the dark. You can't see it from here. That would be awesome. That would, but it's just, unfortunately, you're going to hear that word a lot, by the way. You're going to hear the word unfortunately in the news a lot. When it comes to this particular thing, unfortunately, yeah, that would be awesome, but unfortunately, I'm pretty sure they're going to say something like that. All right, jumping back in the chat, we got Michael Lees in the Eye of the Storm, who says, JayDreamerZ, what about the scientist from 1965 that says that the moon is plasma? You got to ask me an actual question. I don't know what you mean, what about him? I think he's correct. I'd say he's right. I'm not sure what you mean, what about, though. But I'm pretty sure that dude was correct. And then the moon is a light. Can't land on the moon. You can't land on that moon. The one that you see, okay, that little tiny circle up there, it's getting brighter and brighter. Let's get back to this landing on the moon business. It kind of upsets me. Like, I'm entertained by it, okay, by the prospect and by all their stories and stuff, just as much as they are going to the movies, right? All of those moon people, when they go to the movies and they don't believe a word of it, but they're entertained. That's how I am when I watch their stuff. Like, I get reality from the movies and my entertainment from stuff like this. Okay. It's very entertaining. It makes me laugh. It cracks me up. Yeah, you're right. Manda P Cat says the moon is not far. Yeah, it's totally not far. It's like right there. It's right there. You know what I mean? The whole moon, everything about the moon is just jacked up. Since I was a kid, man, I've had so many questions. Right? And I can't stand any of their answers. Their answers infuriate an intelligent mind. one that continues to ask more questions, right? Like a giant rock, like the moon theory. Like, where did the moon even come from? Ask your school teachers where the moon came from and see what they say. You're going to catch them off guard, I promise you. And they're going to start stuttering. And they're going to start trying really hard to flip through some kind of Rolodex and glean from the past. And you're going to be like, well, the moon, there's different theories and different people believe different things. They're going to start off by that. But what they're really doing is buying time to try to figure out, damn, where did the moon come from? They're not going to look at, how do you land on plasma? You don't land on plasma, right? So anyways, let's see. Yeah, going back to the moon. This is going to be quite a show or just terrible. It's going to be terrible. It's just going to be terrible. And they're going to leave someone there permanently, they say? How? Really? How is that even possible? How are you going to leave somebody on the moon? You know what I mean? What else? Man, I got so much to say about the moon. But specifically going back to the moon by 2024, just the fact that there's a deadline is kind of weird. You know what I mean? Like, it's always there. So if there's a deadline, to me, that's a sign and an omen that there's a deadline. There's a time that they're trying to get things done to blast off and go somewhere else because something might happen to prevent them from going to the moon. I believe going to the moon is code for leaving the earth permanently because you're escaping the apocalypse. That's what I think it is, right? I mean, come on. You see all of the auroras and all the crazy lights and stuff and all the whacked out stuff that's happening across our planet right now. And then everyone's really interested. All the government people, all the rich people are super interested in sending people off world. Can we please put 2 and 2 together? What about Christopher Walken? What'd you say? I like Christopher Walken. Nagagato says Christopher Walken would be better. Oh, Pants on the Ground said they're bad actors, bad playwrights, and they have no skills whatsoever. I know can we really blame them? I mean, on some level, it's impressive, right? I mean, if you showed the moon landing to children, they would be like, wow, that's awesome. Look at that, right? So on some levels, it's impressive. But on others, it's not super impressive. Let's see. Yeah, Christopher Walken. That would be awesome. I would love to see Christopher Walken go to the moon. Tully says they go to the moon and oops, something happened. Yeah, I know, right? Something, because they can't. That's the thing. That's what I'm holding on to that one. They can't get to the moon. Okay? Because there is no moon as they're describing it, okay? They can't get there. They're not going to get there. That's why they haven't gone back, because they never... I have to be careful about the words that I use. I'm sure you guys have picked up on some of that. But, yeah. Anybody in the chat, do I have anyone here that is a moon believer? Is there anyone here that supports, NASA? I mean, it's fine. I hope there's not, really. I don't want to invite debate or anything like that. I definitely am not. This is not up for debate at all. Okay. And I'm not telling you as a matter of fact anything. Actually, that's not true. I'm telling you as a matter of fact, this is my perspective. As a matter of fact. As a matter of fact, this is very much my feelings and my perspective that it's all BS and garbage and distracting you from what they're really doing. Now, check this out. Do I think that they're spending... Riley, hey, what's up, Riley? Do I think that they're spending... I don't know why I'm turning invisible. Isn't that weird? I don't know why they're spending all this money. I mean, listen. All the money, all the time that it takes, all of the manpower, all of the advertising, all of whatever they have for whatever they're doing indicates to me that they are doing something. You know what I mean? They are doing... I do see them blasting off rockets towards the sky. I do see certain things that I can accept. That tells me something is happening. But this is not it. It's not this. It's not the story that they have offered to me to explain all of that. That part doesn't make sense. The part where I see rockets shooting up into the sky, yes, I totally see that. That looks real. That I have no questions about that. Right? I'm not questioning any of that stuff. But I am saying that the official stories for these things doesn't really make a lot of sense. We got All Over Adventures, who says Stanley Kubes took the blueprints with him. Right? That's probably what it was. They got rid of him. They probably shouldn't have done that, right? I kind of like that dude. I mean, as far as like his movies and stuff go, I like his movies. Oh, yes, Sage. I did notice you say that earlier. I'm buzzing tonight. I don't know. It's just something in the air. Things have been weird lately. Have you felt that? Have you felt the strange vibe? Like it's electric. I feel it. I don't know. Some of these things that I feel, they're really hard to put into words. They're really difficult to describe. But I sense it, man. I sense something right around the corner. I sense all these weird things that are happening. I can sense crazy events that are right around the corner. Big news. You know what I mean? Like that we're like in a quiet part, a lull right now. But I'm telling you, if the sun is opening up holes in it, you're going to see a lot more. Even if that's just a cover story, okay? Like just talking about signs and omens. If that is happening and you're seeing the sun go dark, then the world's going to reciprocate that. You're going to start seeing catastrophes and the most insane weather and weather patterns, animals and people and plants all changing and acting weird and stuff. All right, so jumping back in the chat. Byerly says, JayDreamerZ, my dad was stationed in Alaska and said that the moon was so big when it was out, but it was very weird. That was kind of back in 64. That's interesting. Right? All these people who are stationed way up north to keep their eyes on the moon, that's also kind of weird to me. Alex Dunn says, my whole reality feels alien. Couldn't agree with you more there. All right, hold on. My chat's kind of being weird because when I click on it, it brings up a sub menu for some reason. Anyway, I'm predicting that they're not going to go to the moon in 2024. Maybe something's going to come up and they'll delay it because maybe they're hoping that the world will actually end. And then if it doesn't end on that date when they thought it was going to end, then they'll be like, oh, well, it turns out that we had to actually double check for this and that. Or maybe, maybe there was some sort of explosion or something that may happen or something to prevent this all from going forward, or maybe something else to distract us from this so that they're like, oh, well, we're not going to continue because, World War III is happening or something, man. There's just no way. There's just no way that they're going to go to that place because they didn't go to that place in the first place. It did not happen. Like literally the astronauts have said that, right? And then get all pissed off when people ask them about it and punch them in the face. My son flat model accounts for all of this. Yes, there's various other models that do a much better job than the academic one. Let's see, are there any Hopi prophecies about the moon? I don't know. I can Google it. I'm not AI. Like, I'm not the one to just ask anything, just, and I don't know everything about the stuff that I talk about. I don't know everything about the Hopis if I talk about the Hopis, you know what I mean? I'm like a jack of all trades, I guess you could say. Let's see, are there any Hopi prophecies about the moon? Let's find out. Hopi prophecy. I'm not really seeing anything pop up. So it's kind of looking like no. It's kind of looking like maybe no. I'm not sure. I just gave it a quick, casual good old-fashioned internet search. Project Bluebeam is imminent, says Jesus wept. Shortest verse in the Bible. Nice. You're right. It is imminent. I'm pretty sure it is. I look like an AI? Do I really? What does an AI look like? You have blue hair. What are you talking about? I'm just kidding. All right. Let's see. Where was I? What do you guys think? I'm so overwhelmed at this particular moment by all of this moon stuff. Mostly my mind is blown that the lemmings of the world just soak it all in. Like I could write a book filled with just questions. Like, what about this anomaly? Or anomalies. We'll just call them anomalies, right? From how fast they go to how do you slow down to, you know what I mean? How do you bank left and all this different things. The speed thing is on my mind today. You know what I mean? Like slowing down and how fast they go. Oh, that's right. Mars. I totally forgot to talk about Mars. So check this out. They've been making plans to go to Mars, right? So that's another thing, is they're talking about going to Mars. And I guess they've landed robots on Mars, as you saw, right? Which is crazy. And they're saying they want to send people to Mars for why? Like, what business do you have on Mars? Why do you even need to do that? Okay, maybe you should spend all of that money on like bettering your own world where you live. Maybe that's a good idea. But anyways, they want to send people to Mars. Jesus Christ, do you know how far away Mars is? Let's check it out. Oh man, I keep looking up a bunch of stuff here. Hold on. Let me close some of these windows. All right, let's ask it. How far away is Mars? Boom. Check this out. Mars is 132 million miles away. I did the math on this earlier. They say that they want to get there. It's going to take like 6 months. So check this out. If you divide 132 million miles by 6 for 6 months, right? That gives you something like 700. Man, hold on. Let me just do the math again real quick. Damn it, I hate math. Hold on, let me do this real quick. Let's do the math live and in person. All right, let's do this. So they want to go to Mars. They say it's going to take 6 months. So let's take 130 million miles. Let's divide that real quick by 6 months. So each month they have to travel 21,666,666 miles every month. So let's divide that by 30 to see how far they have to travel in a day. Divide that by 30 approximately, right? Okay, so every day to get to Mars, the astronauts that go have to they have to cover 722,222 miles every day to get to Mars. I'm sure we could divide that even more and figure out how fast they would have to be going. Let's see, how would we do that? 722,222 miles every day. What would that be? Damn, I had this earlier. I don't remember. Fudge. It's unbelievably fast. Okay, I can't remember. Sorry, I'm not really a numbers guy. Let me get this calculator off. Oh, this is cool. This is our next presentation. Stay tuned. This is going to be a way better presentation than this one. This one's just kind of a general, let's rag on NASA, I guess. It's kind of what it turned into. Or the governments, which is fine. I'm all about ragging on governments and NASA. That's totally fine with me. Be interesting to see what kind of commercials they slap on it. All right, so anyways, check this one out pretty soon. We're going to be talking about these. This is a preview. Might as well just show you, right? We're going to be talking about the Saxon version of the World Tree, which is this one. We're going to be talking about Yggdrasil, which is the Norse version. We're going to be talking about Jupiter columns, all of this fun stuff. This is a nice little preview. All right, let me get out of here. Hold on. I'm not actually going to leave. I don't feel like it. I just feel like hanging out with everybody. Let's see, webpage. Let's get rid of that. All right, cool. Now we're back to good old JayDreamerZ background. All right, so check this out. I have nothing else to say. like, I don't even know if I could debate these people. Like, my mind is just so blown by every single... These people are so lost. Okay, it's idiocracy. Okay? That is... Why am I see-through right now? I don't understand what's going on. It's Idiocracy, okay? Have you seen the movie? Maybe we should do that one. Do you guys think we should break down Idiocracy? I kind of want to. Even though I don't like stupid movies, this movie might be an exception. Because it's not stupid. It's about stupidity, obviously. But I think it needs to be spoken on. What do you think? Anyways, that's how I feel. I'm overwhelmed by the dumbness. The dumbness overwhelms me. Not my own personal dumbness, right? I'm actually becoming dumb. Dumb means you can't speak. Like, I am at a loss for words by how stupid, like, the general population is. No offense. You know what I mean? I'm not trying to, like, you know, insult people and just say, like, oh, you're stupid, meaning, like, I don't like you or whatever. Which is, you know, it's very close to what I'm saying. Because I'm not like you in some ways. General population. But it just blows my mind what people just believe. And they tested that out a couple years ago. They're like, all right, just tell everyone this and see if they believe it. And then boom, everybody did. I didn't. My mind was blown then. I couldn't believe that people were believing the things they were told without any evidence or proof or anything. It's just all hearsay. And I'm sure it's going to happen again. They don't even need to live stream it. Matter of fact, that would not surprise me. It would not surprise me if they realize they have such a grasp on us that they don't even have to do this, you know, lunar live stream or whatever. They could just make up some excuse, totally BS us, and then just be like, well, here's the reason we can't show you, although we would love to show you. Here is some CGI images of what the astronauts are seeing right now. And everyone they'll believe that. I'm sure of it. I'm so convinced that they would believe that. It also makes me sad. I know. Why am I turning invisible? What's going on here? Let's see. Can I... Hold on. Let me see if I can fix this. Let's see. How do we fix that? Webcam. Boom. Let's go to my little green screen filter and let's adjust it real quick. Let's see if this works. Oh, that made it worse. Somebody's going to be like, he just shapeshifted. Look at his eyes, how black they are. Watch, I'll do it again. And I'm just messing with the green screen resolution. That's okay. All right, sweet. Anyways, that's fine. This is the most casual, laid back. You never know with these Omens little segment that I have. Man, you definitely get to know me a little better, don't you? Like, I enjoy letting myself be myself, even if sometimes it's retarded, sometimes it's dragging a bit, sometimes I'm heated and passionate, sometimes I'm funny. Man, you never know. I like it when I'm funny. Those are my favorite times. Rhonda Peterson, hey, that's cool. That's awesome. I didn't know I was putting this little super chat stickers on the screen there. All right, let's hang out a bit. I haven't really been in the chat. What's up, everybody? I'm JayDreamerZ. Welcome to my channel. If you're brand new, we're talking about how fake the moon garbage is and signs of the times, really, right? I mean, that's a sign itself that people just believe anything. You're weird electrical. Thank you, Sage. All right, what else we got? Let's see. Sogio, Jay's Omen Show. Yes, this is the Omen Show. So these are all signs and omens, man. I might just, you know what? I think I feel like watching Idiocracy now. I'm pretty sure I'm going to do that one. But I don't know. Because I kind of want to do a live stream tomorrow about these Jupiter columns, the Irminsul or Irminsul. Zool. Ah, that's going to be such a fun chat. All right, what else we got? What else? Anybody in the chat? What do you guys think? Man, it's hard for me to like read the chat because every time I click on it, it's all glitchy. Like a sub menu pops up and I can't read it. Yeah, the mainstream is being regurgitated by the masses. Momo really is enjoying the series. Glad to hear it. Let's see. Does anybody have any signs or omens that you would like to point out before we wrap things up? I'm trying to think of other things to keep us going, but I'm kind of tired. I'm kind of tired of talking about the moon stuff. Like, I can hear like millions of people out there. I can hear all of their retarded voices arguing right now. If they happen to be watching, you know what I mean? Which is funny. It's so funny. These people are crazy, dude. That's it. I'm doing idiocracy. I'm going to have to. I have to. I feel like it's my responsibility to like bring the message of that movie to the mainstream, because we literally live in that movie right now and have been for quite some time. It's just that it's getting worse. It's ramping up. The dumbness is getting worse. Right. Have I seen the lunar wave video? Asks Logan Cook. Who hasn't, right? Who has not seen that one? That's a good one. I like that one. So the lunar wave video is somebody took a video, of the moon. It's got like some waves, just like you would, just kind of like heat waves, you know? You just see like there's these ripples. It's very interesting. I'm not that interested in the lunar wave. I think it's super interesting, but I hear about it way so much that I'm like, it's cool. It's like not that cool, but no offense, especially to Crow 777. I think he's the one that took the image. I mean, it's cool. I like it. It's definitely an anomaly, but it's not something I'm going to talk about like every time I talk about the moon. Somebody always brings up the lunar wave. That's okay. We're all at different stages and we're all at different levels. And some of us are at different stages. Sage, just kidding. JayDreamerZ, I have a thing about the ocean. I believe we could drink it at one point. We could drink it right now. You could go drink it. You just have to take the salt out of it. That's all. You could drink the ocean water. There's a whole bunch of water all over the place. I'm not worried about being low on water. Next cycle, we will lose our water. Okay, so next cycle, water will be more valuable than it is today. Right now, we waste water. It's all over the place. People act like we're running out. We're not running out of water. We got plenty. There's an ocean, okay? As long as there's an ocean, there's water to drink, okay? Don't go out drinking ocean water straight from the ocean, obviously. Okay, I feel like I even need to say that because it's a numbers game. If I say you can drink ocean water, somebody out there, I promise, is going to go drink ocean water without purifying it or getting the salt out of it or anything, and it's not good news. That's why I need to do this idiocracy special. Like, I really need to. Because I feel the need to tell people not to drink ocean water. After, you know what I mean? I shouldn't have to do that. Like, I should allow nature to weed out the weeds. What do you call that? Natural selection? I should allow nature to do its thing. You know what I mean? That's like me giving spoiler alerts on my series where I break down the truth in movies, where I have the name of the movie on the screen. And I promise you, I swear to God, at least 3 people are going to jump in the chat and be like, hey, what movie are you guys watching? Like, literally, it's in the title, literally, it's in the description, and literally, it's in front of you on the screen. One time I messed it up, and I actually had the wrong name on there. One time. But yeah, there's always somebody, right? Sojio, what's up, Sojio? Says, JayDreamerZ. I've heard, oh, that's right. You changed your little picture. I like that, by the way. So I was watching the chat last time and I noticed your little picture looked pretty cool. I was like, wow, I like how he did that. It pops. It looks good. I like it. And then you put alive. I didn't really notice that it said alive because it's so small until I actually bring it up on the screen here. That's cool. That's all I'm saying. I just like it. Sojo says, JayDreamerZ, I've heard the moon being another world's bird's eye view of their firmament. Yeah, I'm on board with that. Okay, so I need to draw how I imagine the moon. But basically, we have our dome. When a hole blows out in that, and then it becomes energetically charged once more, it creates another dome, a little inverted mini dome underneath it, right? And that one, quite possibly, could also create its own little mini dome or whatever. And it's very possible that there's people up there or beings that live up there inside of those domes. All right, let's see. Anybody else? I'm probably gonna wrap this one up. I do apologize for going a little slow and just kind of rambling more tonight. Maybe it's good. It's good to ramble sometimes. Excuse me, Mike. It's good to ramble sometimes because when I do my next live stream, I'm not going to be rambling whatsoever. I have very specific points about all these different subjects that I've been studying all day long. And I'm going to try to get some really good images and pictures and stuff like that to go along with it. Today's just more of like a hangout. Let's talk about stuff. Yeah, where's John Beck? John Beck says, I saw it on TV. It was real. That's what I hear. That's the voice that I hear that in. I saw it on TV. It was real. That's what I hear. Let's see. Sorry if that's actually your accent. I don't think people that have that accent are stupid, but it's just fun, right? Let's see. The movie 2012, right? That's a good one. Dang, it's so hard to see the comments because my computer's glitching. What else? Y'all know that the moon is hollow, right? Which moon? Which one, right? Which one are you talking about? Are you talking about the light in the sky that we see every night? In which case, okay, interesting. Are you talking about a rock? Like a rock moon up there in space? Like the official rock moon? You know what I mean? Or are you talking about like the ice moon? There's different ones, basically. Bones, what's up, Bones? Man, Bones has been watching my channel for a very long time. I would like to give Bones a shout out. Shout out to you, Bones. How is everyone? How are the kids saying it these days? Big ups? Is that how they say it? Big up? Is it plural? Big ups? Big ups to you, Bones. I'm so like not cool. Like. Anyways, Bones says, JayDreamerZ, there are triple rainbows now. Could we have a triple dome? Yeah, we totally could. It's possible. Or there could be like more than one. There's lots of different variables, different things that could be happening up there. Let's see, who else we got in the chat? Not really here. Has a nice thing to say. I love you guys. You always lift me up. I hope that you feel my love back despite my bad typing. Well, we do. Love is, I feel like, love is an action, okay? To me. This is my own little definition of love, okay? But when you act in a loving manner, you are doing things that show your kindness to others, right? So, who was that just left that comment? Oh, it's not really here. So check this out, not really here. And I'm actually just using your comment as an example for others. Listen, the only people that do not feel your love are the people who do not recognize love because they do not have love. Okay? There's like two different types of energy signatures in this world. There's many variants, okay? But there's good and bad. There is good and evil. There is give and take. There is blue and red. I don't know how to describe it, right? The blue ones, you don't have to say, I hope that you can feel my love. Like we do. We know that. It's evident. You know what I mean? And we appreciate it. And we dwell on that. And we bask in that. We love love. We know love. Of course we can feel it. The other ones have affected us. That's why we say things like, I hope you can feel my love, blah, blah, blah. That's because of the other ones. It's too much of us who have like the blue beam signature, right, in our souls. We waste too much time trying to convert other people who are like red spectrum. Okay, just to use like, you know, two opposites, blue and red or whatever, right? Trying to like change them. I've quit trying to change people. Forget that. I'm not changing anybody. Like, I have a lot to work on in my house. So that's what I'm going to do. And that's why I do this. When you watch my channel, you're stepping into my house. This is my house. This is how I live. This is really me. I don't know what to look at sometimes. I've got me over here. I can actually, this is me looking at me. So when you see me looking in this direction, I'm actually looking at my own self on my program that I use to record all this. The chat, however, is over here. All right, I'm looking over here because there's more area over there. So I put the chat on that side. So it appears as if I'm like engaging in the chat that's on that side. And then I put everything that I'm reading in the middle or whatever. Isn't it interesting? I like sharing some of like the background secrets of YouTubers' life or whatever. Jenny Parker, hey, what's up? From the UK, huh? Well, thank you. Good to see you out there in the UK. Oh, man. Is there any kind of anything worth talking about as far as news? You guys know? I tried to click on all that political stuff. Oh my God, I can't. I'm not going to. I could care less. I'm gonna bring that up. You know what? Here's what I'm gonna do. I got a lot of energy right now. Clearly. Here's what I'm gonna do. I am enjoying just casually hanging out with everybody. Immensely, actually. I love it. I see all these people's names going by in the chat right now. I love that I have provided a little rest stop on whatever road you happen to be traveling, so that you can all get together as you're jumping out of the car on this little road trip, right? This little truth or road trip that we all take. And we have a little rest stop, a little JayDreamerZ gas station or whatever pit stop. And I love that everybody can hang out and they're like, hey, what's up? Good vibes. Oh, yeah, what's up, dude? You want a Gatorade? All right, cool. Thank you. I appreciate it. And everybody's just kind of hanging out before the stream ends. And you'll all get back in your little cars and you'll all go some other way. And I will miss you. Seriously, I miss the chat. I miss all you get little names that I see. I'm getting to know everybody. Like Jayla. I'll just point you out. If you don't mind. Okay. Jayla is pretty new. And I do watch my own live streams. I'm excited. I can't wait. I like the things that I say. I'm my own biggest fan. Like, I can't wait to go back until it's uploaded. You know what I mean? And I have to wait like about an hour for the chat to upload. And there's always somebody that's like, there's no chat. You always talk about the chat. It's like, dude, you need to let the chat load. Like, man. But anyways, Jayla's brand new, basically. And she totally came in. I was paying attention. She totally came in having a hard time, kind of down, right? Kind of like, man, I don't know about this place. And man, she was so timid and apologizing left and right, and trying really hard to be kind and considerate and stuff. And I loved that from the start. And she's just an example, okay? Because I've seen many of you. Some people come, some people go, some people stick around and stay a while. But I watch all of you growing a little bit. You watch me growing a bunch, right? You watch me growing all the time. So you guys probably feel like you know me quite a bit more than I feel like I know you. But I have an affinity for my chat room. I do. You guys are awesome. Clint Eastwood says, JayDreamerZ, the WHO amendments, RE getting rid of article stating that no medicine will be forced on people and to treat people with dignity, comma. Dude, you lost me, bro. I'm super sorry. No idea what you're talking about. But thank you for participating. All right, what else we got? Anyways, my whole point is I appreciate what I see, okay? Or simply put, real recognizes real, right? It could be anybody. It could be Candy Jones. Boom, right there. I've been watching. Could be Joe Cool, who I see in many different live streams. Joe Cool is a cool dude to have on all the live streams. This dude is there. Any live stream I go to, and that's another thing I like to do. I like to pop into live streams. It's more fun now that my channel's kind of like getting famous. It's more fun to pop in now. I have to be careful though when I pop into other people's live streams because I don't want to disrupt. You know what I mean? I never had to worry about that before when I was unknown. I could just pop in and be like, hey, what's up, everybody? How's it going? Blah, blah, blah. Right? And say all the typical live stream stuff. But now if I do, I'm like, hey, and I'll get like, everyone's all of a sudden, like, I don't want to distract. I feel bad sometimes if I don't want to take the limelight off of anybody, basically. Oh, Sojo, you reminded me of something. Thank you. JayDreamerZ, the 100,000 subscriber special celebration can't come soon enough. So check this out. I have a surprise for all of you that I've been saving, and I haven't really talked about it that much. I'm not good at promoting. Have you noticed that? That's another thing that I'm very proud of about my channel. I have done 0 promotions. None. 0 advertising for this channel. So every single subscriber, every view that I have, everything has been word of mouth. Wow. Cloud. Cloud. My name is Claude. Claude the Cloud. Right on. Nice to meet you, Claude. Anyways, I don't know where I was going with any of that stuff. All I'm saying is that I like all of you. Well, most of you. I like many of you, right? You've all done really good, really well. Well done to all of you for making friends, for stepping out, for being a part of the chat, the comments, for adding to. That's really what I'm getting at. Congratulations and well done for adding to instead of just constantly taking from. I like that about you guys the most. That's a really good thing to end it on, right? All right, cool. Oh, man. Oh, let's hug. Oh, let's cry. Oh, somebody shed a tear. Oh, all right, cool. Well, anyways, I love you guys. This has been a fun, emotional roller coaster of just chilling with everybody. I'm going to probably go watch Idiocracy now. I'm pretty sure that's what I was going to do The Magician's Elephant. There's this movie I watched with my son last night. Wow. Like, it looked dumb. I'm like, I really didn't really want to watch it, but I wanted to watch something I know my son would enjoy before bedtime or whatever, you know, and I don't always want to like put it on my profile on Netflix or whatever. So I wanted to put something on cool. It's like a little cartoon thing for my son. I'm watching this movie and I'm like, I'm probably going to break this down. Like, I haven't even seen all of it because my son fell asleep halfway through it. So, you know, I didn't want to ruin it or anything for myself the next time I watched it. So I might do that one again too. Hey, I also got a super chat. Hold on. Let me give a shout out real quick. Droopy again. Oh my God. Thanks, Droopy. Says JayDreamerZ, who or what is God? Oh, you're trying to extend this live stream, all right? Hold on. It's not the religious cult's idea. But there is evidence of intelligent design. I'd love to hear your ideas. All right, I'm trying to think of the shortest way to describe my concept of God. And thank you so much for your donation. I really appreciate it. I don't mind. I'll hang out for a little bit more. If you guys can come up with awesome questions, I love it. Just so you know, if you want me to stick around longer, like the more solid questions that you come up with or whatever, the more you engage me or whatever in that kind of fashion, the more likely I'm, you know, probably going to hang out longer. But if it starts getting slow and stuff, then that's when I'm like, okay, I'm probably going to wrap it up. Angel wings again. I have no idea how to make that present smaller. That's why it's always that big. Thanks, Angel wings. That's awesome. Time's forgotten. Totally jumped on that. All right, hold on. Where was I? The question. Who or what is God? Okay, cool. So I'm going to give you my own little short version answer to who JayDreamerZ believes God is, or what God is to me, okay? Are you ready for something just profound? Right? I have no idea what I'm about to say. I'm excited. What am I going to say? So what is God? I believe in something called the fractal verse, right? That our entire reality is God, or what people commonly refer to as God. I am more old school in my definition of how I define God. For me, I go by those things like God is omnipresent, God is everywhere, everything, and I don't make exception for that. So, for example, I would ask somebody like, hey, is your God in the toilet? And they'd be like, no, God's not in my toilet. Then I'm like, okay, then you don't share the same version of God as I do, because my God is everywhere. Even in the places you don't want your God to be, my God is there. All right. So my definition of God is more true to form to the omni words. Okay. Omnipresent, omnipotent, the other ones too, right? So everything is God, basically. Like, and that's the short answer. That's not super profound. But everything is God. Every single thing. This computer is a piece of God, or equally and a piece of God. Okay, it's all holographic. It is all fractal. It is all repetitious and spiraling and showing you the majesty that is the creator of where we are, right? I believe everything is connected. I don't believe in separation. Okay? Everything, when I look at the world, sometimes it's fun to get lost and forget, which is, sort of the point of it. But occasionally I am reminded in everything that I look at and everything that I see and those things that I don't see, everything that I am feeling and everything that everyone else is feeling. It is all God to me. And because it's all God, and because God is all good, then it's all good. You know what I mean? Like, if you're ever going through some tough times, just say that like a mantra. You know what I mean? Because it's true. If God is everywhere, then everything must have God. God must encompass everything, right? So there can be no element, there can be no place where there is no God. Because God must be, according to my definition, all over the place, everywhere, right? Everywhere, every place. Okay? And if that's true, and that God that I believe in is good, right? Or beneficial, or that this all has a point to it, right? Then it's all good. It has to be. So any perceived contradictions, any perceived lies or falsities or evil is just that. It's just perceived as such. Because that's part of the facade. That's a part of the game for some reason. Anyways, that's just my little, that was not my best explanation. I like the question. I do. You just kind of threw me off because we were talking about unrelated stuff, but I love talking about God. Believe it or not, that's one of my favorite subjects is religion, especially Christianity. Man, like I don't often, I mean, some of you get it because you can tell I'm pretty decently versed in like the Bible and stuff, right? Because like, I throw out little reminders from time to time because I love it. I love that book. And that's, one of the places where I started. But if you ask me about God or anything that's in the Bible or anything about various religions and stuff, I love it. It's not the easiest topic for me to talk about and still try to keep the unity that we have going, like all the good vibes and all that stuff that we were just talking about, because religion tends to be a great divider, unfortunately. However, we can transmute that. Tisha gave me $10. Hold on. I missed it. I'm so sorry. Trisha. Oh, that's cool. I can barely, hold on. It looks like Trisha and like her husband or boyfriend or somebody. How do I get back to that? Hold on. It looks like you're like out in this cool mountain thing. Anyways, that's a cool picture, and thank you so much for the $10, which is very useful in my life. And also, Sage says that was deep. Thank you. It's not the deepest I've ever gone, but I appreciate it. Also, Jay, please look through the chat after my first SU. Oh, after the first super chat? Is that what you're trying to say? I will. I always go back and read the whole chat, so I can block lames and so I can promote people to like moderator who are awesome. And so some, what's crazy? I've had to put myself in check. I don't want to make too many people moderators. You know what I mean? So I know people are smart, right? Sometimes. And, I know that if I'm like, hey, if you say something kind, I'll make you a moderator. And then the next thing I know, people are saying kind stuff. And at first I was like, oh, that was super nice. I'm going to make them a moderator. But then I'm like, hold on. Like people get like 3 check marks in my mind as I'm watching the chat, right? First, I have to see a person's name come up enough that I'm becoming familiar with it. Then I have to see that what that person is saying is consistent, like as far as their vibe, right? Consistently, either people who are very useful, like sharing a lot of really good information or something, people who are kind and whatnot, and, oh, I did get a new chair. Oh, I'd also got a donation. Hold on. Sorry. Pima. What's up, Pima? Good to see you. Yes, I did get a new chair. Pima looks familiar to me. Yes. So I'm actually up higher right now. I'm like slouching because my chair is slightly taller than I thought it would be. And I had to point the camera up a little bit too. But yeah, I have a sweet chair. It even came with a little chair pillow. Which is nice. Yes, thank you so much, Pima. What else we got? Sherry, boom. Sherry 333. Hey, what's up, Sherry? $20 in the super chat and in my gas tank and, whatever I need $20 for, probably rent money. Like, thank you. Says, I love your answer about God. We are all connected. It's simple, right? All the best truths should be able to be simply put, I feel. All of the truest things, all of the most profound things should be something that a child could easily explain. All right, so what else we got? Is that it in the chat? I feel like it's probably time to go. You can make me blocked and no longer a moderator. I'm totally cool with that. What? Why would I do that? I like you. I don't know. It's hard for me to keep up in the chat sometimes. Sorry about that. What else? What else? I'm trying to see if there's anything else. Anything else? Irregular absolution says pay to exist. I see you popping up now. I don't know what you're talking about though. I hope you're okay. Oh, show the chair. Oh, you want to see the chair? Okay. I have to manipulate I could pick it up, I guess. Hold on. Oh my gosh. Okay, so check this out. It's not, I don't know why you want to see this. It's just a wooden chair. Like, it's not like Night God. You guys know Night God 333? I see you, by the way. I'm pretty sure you're watching right now. I'm going to check. I'm just going to check to see if he's in the chat. You guys know you could do that? I could see who's in the chat right now. Hold on. Participants. I'm looking for you. Wow, there's so many people. It's crazy because I'm just... All right, hold on. Nope, Night God is not here. But I'm pretty sure he watches my channel. I'm pretty sure he's given me a shout out before too, actually. I do like his stuff. I especially liked him sharing the Worlds Beyond, not Worlds Beyond the Poles. You know what I'm talking about, that story. Anyways, here's my chair. Oh, he got a sweet chair. But his is like futuristic gamer chair. Mine's just like old man chair that I need. All right, anyways, here's the chair. It kind of looks like a really tall bar chair or kitchen chair or something. And here's the pillow. It's got a pillow with a coffee thing on it. I don't know. It's hard to see. I've got the green screen. It's very tall. See? It's just a chair. It's not impressive. I don't know. I'm glad you guys want to see it, but maybe one of these days I'll do like a MTV Cribs type deal. I have tried that before, but I had a stalker. So I was like, I don't know if I should be showing people where I live, man. Like, I don't want stalkers. I don't want weird people on the internet knowing where I live and stuff. Which is why I don't leave my business card. I've got sweet business card. Hold on, check this out. All right. So these are limited edition JayDreamerZ business cards that I leave around. That's the front. That's a little back. You can scan the back and it takes you to like my website or to my channel right here. But if you ever find one of these, hold on to it, take a picture or something, and then like give it to somebody else. I got a whole bunch. I need to give them out, but I don't give them out in my town at all. I don't like, how's that biblical verse? Prophet is never like honored in his own town or something like that. So I definitely adhere to that. You know what I mean? Like I don't give those out around my town. I don't want weirdos knowing where I live or anything. And I'm not saying everybody's a weirdo. okay? Because I actually met some cool dudes at a bar one time when I was just having a drink at a bar across the street where I used to live. And these dudes recognized me, which was mind-blowing. They were like, dude, are you JayDreamerZ? I'm like, yes. Like, who are you? Like, you know what I mean? I don't know. I'm super hanging out right now, right? All right, let me see if I missed anything in the chat. Oh, did I get some donations too? Oh my God. Me Dragon the Lion. Oh, who said that? David Khan said, Me Dragon the Lion. The Leon. Very right on. Thank you so much, David. I appreciate you. Thank you. Who else is in the chat? Oh, Sage. For Scruffy. Aw. You want to see Scruffy again? I mean, for 20 bucks, I definitely can show you my puppy again. I love your answer about God. Oh, thanks, Sherry. All right. Scruffy. Can you hear her? I put this new little thing on her so I can walk her or whatever. Come here, Scruffy. Come here. Baby. Oh, yes. Up, up, up. Oh, you're so far down there. Hold on. All right. This is how we're going to end it today. Okay, hold on. Come here, puppies. Come here, puppies. Yes, come here. Good girl. Oh, yes. Oh, I know. Oh, yes. Okay, okay. All right, hold on. Let me scooch the chair in here. I'll just stand up. Oh, there's my baby. Hello. Oh, hello. Yes. Look at this. Oh, what is this? Over there. I'm trying to get her to look at the camera. She's licking him. You ever have the dogs that lick all the way into your mouth? Like they're trying to get in there? You know what I mean? She slips him. She tries to slip one in there. It's like, bah, real quick. Look at the camera. You're so camera shy. Oh, you're so pretty. She still looks kind of sad. She gets her happy looks. Oh, she gets her happy looks. All right, I'm gonna put you down. I know. I'm gonna put you down. Okay. There you go, baby. There you go. Good girl. Anyways, she gets her little happy. She gets playful and stuff every once in a while. She likes to jump up on the bed. I better go give her a walk right now, actually. So I'm going to take off. Thank you so much for all the awesome donations today. I super appreciate it. My family appreciate it. Everybody, me and my son and my dog appreciate it, basically. And I love you guys. And I think you're awesome. And I've had a good time hanging out with everybody tonight. I don't really want to say goodbye, but man, I should if I'm going to go watch that movie and break it down and get ready for the next live stream, right? All right, cool. So until next time, I'm JayDreamerZ saying good vibes and goodbye.
Come